You're live.
Shaloha, everybody. I'm here with my lovely, talented helpmeet, Hami Biscuits. You're going to be monitoring Patreon.
Yes.
For comments.
Yes.
From the patrons.
Yes.
Which are questions, which we're going to answer. We're trying out a new thing tonight. So we're going to try it that way because the chat gets so overwhelming sometimes. We also have Sister Renee off camera over here who will be in the live stream comments looking for questions as well. And also programming note, starting after today, the next tactical live stream. What's up, Tater? You want to be famous? The next tactical live stream will be on Thursday, the 11th. I have a scheduling conflict for the foreseeable future on Tuesdays. And so we will be seeing you for Thirsty Thursdays every other Thursday on YouTube. And if you're on Patreon, Zoom calls shall continue in the month of February. OFC Nation loves his IFAC. I'm so happy to hear that. I hope it's one of ours. What are you doing, Gato? Are you seeing this, people?
Oh my God.
I'm a parrot. Don't ask questions. Don't put your ass on my face. Look at this. This was not planned. Cat balls. Look. What is going on here? So this is just just a little reminder to,
You are not in charge. Potato.
This is not a professional operation, clearly.
Worry about the kids. Now we got to worry about Potato.
Right. Damn it, Tater. So the next tactical live stream will be Thursday, the 11th. Miss Hunter Seeker, Shaloha. Poor choices. We're not, don't worry about that chakra. I'm not opening my third eye tonight. Taternator. So, OFC Nation, roger that. Tater the Tactical Cat, indeed. Okay. So, pop out chat. Chat has been popped. Okay. So, what do we got? What are we doing? What's going on?
Well,
Other than Tater's butthole.
Right.
It's a good time. I'm glad OFC Nation loves his IFAC. That's awesome. That's truly fabulous.
We've been shipping out a lot.
A
whole lot.
Yes, we have.
We're almost caught up. Like, I shipped out our last, long outstanding order.
I feel like we always say this, though.
I know. And then,
but such as small business in the age of COVID.
We're caught up till you have a sale.
Right.
Yeah, we're at January 19th.
That's acceptable.
That's
within the.
And most of those will be into the
there was a time
20s,
what quarter
probably by the end of this week, beginning of next.
Well, handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever. Takes a little bit extra time. So
yeah.
And even the overseas manufactured pouches that we use for things like the Cub kit, those are getting harder and harder to get. So I think everybody's feeling the squeeze when it comes to filling, just there's something in the air. I think it's Biden, but there's something in the air. I can't quite put my finger on it. But yeah. Bravo, India, Delta, Echo, November.
We have some Patreon questions.
What you got?
First quick one is Tony Bush had 5 baby goats in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
And how is lambing going? Can I talk about lambing now?
Somebody else asked, how many do you start with? How many sheep is a good start?
That's a good question.
So the two can kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, you can talk about how many lambs we have. Just don't give any details because all those videos are coming on Patreon.
Can I talk about last season versus numbers this season?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
There's no secrets in the Bear Nation.
Sheep sack?
Sheep shack?
Shush.
Not sheep sex.
No, not sheep sex, but sheep sack. The sheep op sack.
Yes.
So when we started with
Like
lambs
brownie mix.
or with sheep, we started with what, 7?
Yes, and they all died.
No.
6. No, when we first started, yes, every one of them died.
Well, we had the 2 sheep plus 2 baby sheep that I was bottle feeding plus 2 baby goats.
Right, and they all got murdered by
No, they didn't. The goats died just on their own.
And what happened to
morning.
what happened to the sheep?
And then one of the sheep ended up dying. And then the second sheep did get murdered by our dog.
How did the ram end up dying? He got chased out of our pen into the hayfield
And
back there and
then
eaten
our
by
older
coyotes because of feral
ram
dogs.
And you
Yep.
both perished
Yep.
for the same reason.
So when we started over again, we started with 6.
Right. For the second time.
And then didn't she kill one of them?
No.
A goat?
A goat, yes.
Oh yeah, you
Not a
definitely
sheep,
you
no.
did a goat murder. That's a different
But
story.
Then we had 6, one being the ram, so it was 5 ewes, and we ended up losing one of the ewes while she was pregnant,
Yep.
and basically she had dead babies inside of her, and the infection and stuff, like,
Yeah.
it was too late, and so she ended up dying, so that knocked us down to 4, and it was the first time lambing for those 4, and so we had 4 babies. 2 were rams and 2 were ewes. Then some friends of ours had basically a defective sheep that they gave us, and BD, and so that added another boy to the herd.
But BD stood for broke pecker.
Right.
So he wasn't producing anything
Right.
other than lamb sausage, which was delicious. But
and then we ended up purchasing another 6 ewes.
Yes.
5 ewes, 6 ewes. Okay. No, it was like 5 ewes and then the 2 boys, Horny Man and Horny Man's brother.
In Pennsylvania, they'd be
Or
ewes.
4. It was 4 because I think it was 6 total. So then,
Yes, 2 rams, 4 ewes.
yeah, and so we ended up getting 2 more rams, and those were meant for meat, not for breeding. So those got dead, and then
it was scheduled dead.
Right.
But yeah.
And so we had the 4 ewes from our second start, and then their 2 girl ewes, so 6, and then 4 more ewes, so that was 10. And this year we've had 12 babies. How many boys versus girls?
I don't know. I got to pull it up.
Yeah, I can't
What
remember.
is it? How can you tell a sheep from a goat? The sheep voted for Biden.
Well, it tastes better.
They do taste
So let's see. 1, 2, 3. We have 4 girls currently.
Right.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Boys.
7,
7 boys.
8
8
boys. No, we have 12 of them.
Oh,
We got 8 boys and 4 girls currently.
so
Freezer time.
the more the merrier. Right. So that's going to get us like what we need for our feast, and then gives us the option of either selling some breeding pairs and getting that revenue to use for other things, or separating out females so they don't get pregnant and having more meat for the freezer.
Or Hebrew starter kits,
Or-
which we're doing
That's what
as
I
well.
said, breeding pairs.
Yeah, but we're not selling them. We're giving them.
Well,
But yes, continue.
same thing. Well, not
starting new homesteads.
Right.
So if you start, I think the crux of the question here is, if you start with 6, you can spin up pretty quickly. I think you really want a minimum of a ram and 3 ewes to get started. And sheep have a longer gestation period and a longer cycle than goats do. Goats will go twice a year. Sheep go once every 8 months. And so in 2 years, a goat would kid 4 times. In 2 years, a sheep would lamb 3 times.
Right.
So
we'll have another lambing season probably come November,
yep,
December of this year.
Philip S. says, hey, you lovely two, happy Taco Tuesday.
Tactical Tuesday.
Who said that?
Philip S.
Philip S. Thank you, Philip S. Appreciate you. So, yeah, we're up to 12 lambs currently.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to, there's over 24 sheep out there. I don't have an actual head count currently.
No.
But it's a lot.
It's madness out there.
Yeah.
Somebody did ask, so what do you think about if you don't have the room for said animals renting land?
Doing a land lease?
Yeah. Like if you're in the city, but you want to have your own animals.
Yeah, and that's not a bad option as long as you understand that you have to be there twice a day.
Right.
And
raising one probably isn't going to give you a return like what you pay out for rent. But generally, land leases are fairly inexpensive.
Reasonable. Yeah. Very
I mean,
reasonable. It depends on where you are. If you're in Chicago, the land outside of Chicago, you're not going to lease any of it very cheap. But generally speaking, they're pretty reasonable for land leasing. But you're going to be there twice a day. At least twice a day during lambing season, once a day for everything else. And you're going to expect to take some losses. That's going to happen.
It needs to be something close proximity.
Yeah.
Not, a 2-hour trip.
Yep. And preferably, somebody who's near there who can help keep an eye on the place. Because at night, we have Sam. Sam keeps an eye on our stuff at night. He keeps the bad animals off the good animals.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have a super chat from Jimmy Russo.
Jimmy Russo.
House.
Bless you, Jimmy Russo. Thank you. How long will it take to get an IFAC shipped to North Carolina? Why don't you answer that?
Probably about a week to 2 weeks right now.
And they can use promo code what?
Oh, we're going to go ahead and
They might as well.
Tell the people.
Might as well let them know. There's a special on Tuesday. It's a tactical Tuesday.
And we have our good friend Mouse here to thank for that.
Oh, is Mouse here?
Oh, I'm sure.
Well,
they're always
better
here.
be.
But you can use promo code Mouse tonight until midnight for 15% off.
Yep. And it's good at both stores. You can use it at Bear Independent or Refuge Medical, and it applies to everything, right?
Everything except for training.
Everything except for training. We have, believe it or not, tight margins on training. However,
you don't charge
if you go to Refuge Medical, you'll get this cool patch with it. PVC patch right there.
UNA plus,
yeah, not the blood type patch.
Not the
UNA plus.
We don't have those yet.
There we go. So you'll get this cool Refuge Medical pouch or patch rather. It's PVC. If you order Marpat Multicam, OD Green, Coyote Tan, you'll get this patch with it. If you order black, gray, or red, you'll get the OG, the gray one with it. And for those that don't know, that is the tree of life right there, because we're all about saving lives. Our mission statement is to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provision and blessing. It was your idea. You are correct. And it's beautiful. And refuge comes from Psalm 73. Yahweh, the Lord our God, is our refuge and our strength. And so you can get them from either store. You can use the promo code at either store. But if you go to Refuge Medical, you will get the PVC patch with your order. So
2A Armory in the chat.
Is 2A Armory in the chat?
Somebody just said, "What's up with 2A Armory? And welcome to the Bear family."
Oh, well, that's in the brief that posted on Patreon tonight.
Yeah.
So we just onboarded another online vendor, 2A Armory. They have a facility in Whitney, Texas, and another one in Georgia. And by facility, we mean like a range, a place that we can shoot. And so they're carrying their products in their online store. They may end up carrying them in their physical locations as well. And as time rolls on, we're going to see if we can coordinate with them to do 8-hour TCCC classes, including live fire training at their facilities. But all that's still on talks right now. But happy to roll out another vendor to a armory, so that it's super cool.
Joseph Bremer wants to know if Refuge Medical will put crowns in the Marpat IFAC.
Yes.
Always.
We absolutely do.
I didn't know this was a thing that we discussed now. We just like to say that there's snacks in there.
Right.
And if you know what Marpat is, you're not surprised when you open it up and there's a couple of Rose Art crayons for you to snack on in there.
Right.
But I guess the cat's out of the bag, but we don't talk about that. That's just a special gift for all of our crayon eaters out there.
They want to know where the Refuge medical patches are in the store.
They want to know where
No, they're not.
not yet. They will be.
She got pictures done.
Oh.
I set up the pictures for you. I the sleeve of this shirt.
Well, it's because that's the picture.
I like it. It's good. It's approved.
But it looks yellow.
It's not.
So y'all know,
it's not
I took
yellow.
pictures, but it looks yellow. So know that it's not yellow and that it's green.
They said Renee said they would be there this morning.
Renee,
Yep.
Make me.
Renee
look
better
like...
not have said that shit.
She did say that.
I didn't. Well, I said it was on my list,
Renee.
and then I turned to Foe and said, "Hey, it's on your
Okay.
list."
So quick question: how much time is it going to take to put it into the store?
She can do it right now.
I mean, is this like a 5-minute thing or a 4-hour thing?
No,
Or...
it's just a few.
All right, guys, she's putting it in the store right now. The PVC patches.
We are just an online.
Somebody wants to know if your wife works at Lowe's.
Yeah,
I used to.
She definitely works at Lowe's.
No, she's literally the person who handles
I
all
used
your
to.
shit.
I worked there for like 11 years. So yeah.
If you've ever ordered anything from us, Harmony knows about it.
She touched it.
Yep.
Between Harmony, Brother DR, and Brother Foe, and Brother Oki, if you've ordered product from bearindependent.com or refugemedical.com, you've got their fingerprints all over your stuff.
They may have all touched it.
So,
Yep.
Do not frame us.
well, yeah, I mean,
Right. Yeah, don't frame
hashtag frame foe. So, if you're looking for an out,
Frame Foe? That's a new one.
yeah, frame foe.
Flame Foe?
We've gone, it's
No, no,
2021. We've progressed from blame
blame
foe
foe.
to
No,
frame
no
foe.
Flaming
No,
foe.
I didn't say flame. Frame.
Hashtag frame foe.
Hashtag frame foe.
There you go. Yeah,
Oh,
they're gonna blame
man.
me anyway.
Hey, Tiger Independent, Ashley Storms.
Yeah,
What's
how many
going on?
knows where everybody lives?
Yeah, remember that. She has all of your addresses.
do.
Behave.
I have like a photographic memory when it comes to that stuff. So
Which is fun when you get to bring people stuff sometimes.
Gray Mouse is here. Britt Banry said shit. Oh, man.
uh-oh.
Savvy, it's okay. He can say shit. It's a PG-13
Oh.
show, just not an
He took it
R-rated
out.
show.
He was like,
Hey,
nope,
CLC Farm, what's up, brother?
the Cheeto dust is extra.
We need a frame faux patch. I agree.
Oh, wait, we need a Foxy patch first. The fighting
blame foe.
fox.
I like the idea of the sticker of the month being like all militant farm animals
Yeah,
throughout
fox-
the. Yep.
the
Alex, just for a
Yeah.
moment.
You turned it back on. I was literally screenshotting.
He told you. Someone just hid somebody for saying.
Uh-huh.
Personality type. Not just a blood type, it's a personality
I have
type.
2 pluses on mine.
All right, what do we got? Hit me.
We need a wrap foe and bubble wrap. He doesn't break himself much.
No.
Questions?
Breaks microwaves.
Questions,
I'm
team?
surprised I didn't break the door frame when I hit it.
We have no questions.
That people love the Willard sticker.
People love the Willard sticker.
Yeah, the Willard.
That's tremendous. Yeah, we got to order some more of them. So
T-Rex sticker
Is
is in the making.
it? Do they know about the Willard
So,
sticker?
I don't know if general population knows
Yeah.
about
No,
the
they
Willard
don't.
sticker.
It's only February 1st, right?
It's the second
February
today.
2nd. Oh, it's
We did an early release on Patreon, and it sold out like in an
Someone-
hour and a half.
So you just said somebody asked
Like-
about pork yet?
Don't even try me, bro.
Recommendations on whiskey.
recommendations on whiskey. Well, I'm under a Nazarite vow currently. But
I'm
for
drinking salted caramel.
for whiskey, I'm a bourbon guy. I like Maker's Mark. Is kind of a go-to. I like Scotch, but don't need super fancy Scotch. I'll take just a Dewar's on the Rock or Johnny Walker.
Somebody's like Blanton's.
I love Blanton's. I got a Blanton's appetite, but I don't have a Blanton's budget.
Your office or
So,
yeah, my office has one.
and then my EDC whiskey has fortunately or unfortunately become Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
Somebody just said it says no grapes. It doesn't say no whiskey.
It says no wine or hard drink.
I know.
So
point out. I mean grapes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's part of it's a conviction, and then part of it is I don't have a gray area, and so every now and then I take a break just to show myself that you can take a break. And I don't go through like the DTs or like anything like that. I enjoy a good whiskey, and I need to check in with myself regularly to make sure that all I'm doing is enjoying it.
David Campbell is.
Additionally, I was reading Amos 2 the other day, and it talks about the Nazarite and being set apart from birth, and how surely Yahuwah or Elohim, the Lord our God, does nothing without first informing his prophets. I'm not saying I'm a prophet. In fact, I'm saying the opposite of that. But I am saying that in today's day and age, I definitely want to be closer to him than I ever have been. And there's a lot of uncertainty out there in the world. And so I don't want to be a stumbling block to myself in making myself unable to hear the Father's words, let alone turn something that I enjoy into a transgression. Because if you look at Leviticus and also in Numbers, there is no drunkenness in service to the Father. There's a difference between drinking and drunkenness, and a lot of denominations have taken this out of context. They've gone too far with it. And you say, well, you can't drink at all. Well, bro, Yeshua, Jesus's first miracle was to turn water into wine. They didn't just look at the wine. And of course, Passover, you have wine, and it's a thing. It's a regular occurrence. But drunkenness is a whole nother story. And so occasionally, like I said, I like to take a little break from that because I need to know that it's something that I enjoy doing, not something that I need to do. So
what's an HR 127?
HR 127. I will be talking about that on tomorrow's morning brief. But it's an atrocious bill that's been proposed by none other than Sheila Jackson Lee, who legitimately has no brains and is evil. I mean,
that like crown thing.
Yeah, I mean, Bravo, India, Delta, Echo, November, the best ever.
Somebody asked a really good question.
Okay.
What are some of the best things that your parents taught you that stick with you daily?
If you can't find the time to do it right, when are you going to find the time to do it over? That's one of the things that really stuck with me is if you're going to dedicate the time and money to do something, do it right.
Mm-hmm.
I hate rework. I hate it. It's one of the reasons I got out of working in North Texas, because you could do exactly what the client asked you to do. And I don't like it. We think we want to do something different. Then you tear out everything that you just did to do it over again.
Right.
Pisses me off.
They're usually still not happy.
No, we did one lady's master closet. How many times?
The look on her face was like, oh.
Yeah, too many
Don't talk
times.
about that
Yeah.
lady's closet.
Too many.
3, 4.
Yeah. And her master closet was the size of my house.
Yeah.
And this is not an exaggeration. There was 120 cabinets. I think it was 120 cabinets.
Yeah.
There's 240 something on the job, and 120 of them were in the master closet.
And I built big boxes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They weren't little
Yeah, you
cabinets. They were big.
Oh my
big
gosh.
cabinets.
So if you can't find the time to do it right, when are you going to find the time to do it over? That has definitely stuck with me. And I guess just in general, work ethic, you know, which now I would understand that, you know, Genesis 2, by the sweat of the brow and the blood of your hands, you will earn your bread, right? The earth will yield its fruits to you, meaning that it's not just going to happen. The earth,
right? You gotta, bust ass.
It doesn't just happen. You have to put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. Maybe with that, I'd say tenacity. My dad is a very tenacious person. He's also a meticulous planner, but was a risk taker when it came to business. And talk about somebody who could pivot. I mean, we did one time, I remember we were getting $3 for a square bale of hay. And he was in a pet store. And he saw these little tiny mini bales of hay for rabbits for $6. And they were like 20 ounces of hay. And he's like, well, we're making 90-pound bales for $3, and this weighs 20 ounces. And so he came home, went out into the barn. He got an industrial paper cutter and cut some plywood and made a little chute and a lever. And he took a fleck of hay. You know, when you take a bale of hay apart, it's, you know, in squares, it's called a fleck of hay. Laid the fleck of hay down on the paper cutter, put it in this chute, pushed the lever, and it ka-chung, compacted it into the size of a loaf of bread, slid a plastic bag over it, pulled it up, put a bread tie on it. And we sold that freaking, he had a whole armada of pet stores lined up to take Sam's mini bales at $3. He's like, here's the deal. I'll sell them to you for $3. They were paying $4.50 for their mini bales and selling them for $6. He said, I'll sell them to you for $3. And so you're getting a much better profit margin on my product. Tell me how many you need. And we were out there with pallets, stacking up pallets of mini bales because it paid the bills. We went from $3 for a 90-pound bale of hay to $3 for a 20-ounce bale of hay. Yeah, there was some
Labor.
There was labor involved, right? There's value added, but I'll tell you, like, things like that, like, don't be afraid to pivot. I think so many people are afraid of trying something new or starting something different because all they know is what they've done thus far.
Well, and that goes into mine.
Send it.
Is if you're not happy, change it. Like, my mom ingrained that into my brain.
I gotta pee, so you tell them this while I pee.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I've just been sitting over here squeezing my legs together.
But yeah, can you fit? Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Because it's totes back, so you have a place to
I know.
not fall
She
off.
literally ingrained that into my brain. Like, if I came to her bitching about anything, that was her answer. If you're not happy, then change it. And so number one, like, I'm not a complainer. Like, I've learned, like, you don't complain unless you're going to take action to change it. Because just an open-ended complaint, you know, yeah, there are frivolous things that, you know, you might complain about, but there are so many people who waste their lives complaining about their lives.
Miserable
Like, people. And so that was her big thing. And the second would be to say I'll try is a reason to fail. And so it was either like no or you do it.
And if you can't fix it, stop complaining about it.
Yeah.
Or if you're not willing to fix it. My thing is, if you're not willing
if you
to
don't
change,
want to fix it, if you don't want to do the work that it's going to take to actually change something, in my eyes, you don't have a valid excuse to complain about it.
We talked about the other night about asking somebody, do you want me to listen or do you want me to come up with a solution?
Right.
Because sometimes people just want you to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, sometimes you need to say, like, okay, well, let's stop for a minute. Are you looking for me to fix this? Or are you looking just to bitch? Because if you're just looking to bitch, like, let's get some whiskey.
Right.
We're good.
Right.
Like, I can go
But if,
there,
like-
but I need to know, like,
Right.
where are we going?
You want some action? Like, I'll help you come up with some action.
Yeah.
And
get
like,
somebody
we'll
back
change
if we
this
need
shit.
to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're not a good person to vent to unless you've prefaced the conversation with "I just need to vent,"
Yeah.
right.
because otherwise you get the eye roll and the knife hand and like, cool story, what are you going to do about it? Which is
Are you talking
one of the
about
things.
yourself or her?
Me.
Her. Well, I'm
I
the
do
same.
this with
I'm the
them,
same
Yeah.
way
Like,
because
yeah.
I tend to shut that stuff down quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, what are we doing?
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah,
I was
I'm not
gonna say,
a.
like, you two are two peas in a
But see,
pod
when
there.
it comes to him, he doesn't like hearing it because
Nobody likes to hear it. Everybody
know,
likes to be
yeah.
the venter.
everybody, yeah,
When we're having a bad day, we want to be the.
we just want to bitch.
That's why the good Lord gave you sisters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
And
gave me
brothers.
brothers so we could go shoot things. Be like, hey man, you all right? Got it. Ba, 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 ba.
I forgot the farting.
All
you go.
right, I feel better. Let's go home.
That's the new drill.
What?
Is that the new drill?
That's the new drill. Yeah,
We
you
need a
gotta
drill to go to the Tootsie Roll song.
the Tootsie Rolls. Okay,
Yeah.
next ladies firearm outing, we will do a Tootsie Roll drill.
Yeah.
Y'all haven't seen the new berms yet. They're twice as high as they were.
Goodness.
Yep. Although I've got literally a half ton of clay in the bucket of the skid steer that I've got to dig out. It's completely compacted.
Let's see. There's two Bible ones.
Okay.
How do you interpret the fourth beast in Daniel 7?
Not going there.
Okay.
Somebody
know
just
these
said, what's a
things.
Tootsie Roll drill?
And then in
We'll
regards to
explain
Torah,
later.
is giving blood and blood transfusions okay? And I'm going to go refill my drink.
Okay. So is giving blood and blood transfusions okay? Some people are going to say yes. Some people are going to say no. I think you need to talk to Yah about that one. I will say this. The Torah is designed to keep us near to our Creator and to experience the abundance of His provision and blessing. But all throughout the Word, including the Torah, and Kosher Dad actually said that somebody had said to him that the Scriptures are the first 5 books of the Bible, and everything that comes after that is essentially the commentary and fulfillment of the first 5 books of the Bible. And I agree with that statement 100%. Because of the Word informs the Word informs the Word. We have our 3 witnesses in the Torah, the prophets, and the New Covenant. And all throughout there, we see the ingenuity of the people that the Father created. There are people that I know that keep Torah that would be dead if it was not for modern medicine. I recently was in the ER in a world of pain. I didn't violate the Torah while I was there. And so if you need a blood transfusion to stay alive, as in my mind, as long as that blood's not coming out of a pig and you're not celebrating in a pagan way with that blood, you're not taking that liter of blood and dousing it on yourself and fornicating and bowing down to false idols while you do it, I don't see an issue there. But I'm also very quick to point out that I'm not your pastor. And the convictions that the Father puts on your heart are between you and Him, and they may vary between you and I based upon what He's put on my heart. if my wife was laying in a hospital bed or in an ambulance and needed a blood transfusion to live, she's going to get a blood transfusion. What I'm not going to do is celebrate and idolize blood. I'm definitely, the Torah says, touch not the unclean thing. And so I'm not interested, for example, when we get down to blood, things like vaccines that have HEC 293 cells in them. That's an unclean thing. And porcine proteins that come from a pig, that's an unclean thing. That's an abomination. I don't want that in. It's not life-saving. It's another great point. I don't want those things in my body. But modern medicine is in many ways a miracle. We have more technology available to us today, for good or for bad, than we've ever had before in our life. And this is very much so, in my mind, a Deuteronomy 32 thing. I set before you today life and a blessing, death and a curse. Choose this day. Well, if you are proceeding towards life and a blessing, good for you. If you're proceeding towards death and a curse, well, we all know how that's going to end up. So I don't have an issue with blood transfusions. I'm also not just going out and getting random blood transfusions. I've also given lots of blood prior to Torah and after Torah, and because that blood will save somebody's life. That will happen. 100% that will happen. So,
and that's very different than like, I'm starving and I decided to eat pig. Like, that's very explicit to me in the Torah. There's nothing explicit that says don't take a blood transfusion. The verses that people use to say that, they're twisting.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that regardless of whether or not you're starving, food is food per Leviticus 11. There's nothing in the word explicitly that says, hey, don't get a blood transfusion.
Right.
However, I don't know that pigs have been around for the entirety of the Torah. Blood transfusions have not.
Right.
So, but that being said, that's where I'm at with it personally. And I'm not saying that anybody else needs to agree with that or disagree with that. That's just where I'm at with it. And I do get a lot of questions from people regarding the Bible and interpretation of it. And I've had a lot of people say, you know, Bear, you might not think you're a pastor, but you are. And I do want to address that for a moment. To the extent that I am, Jeremiah 3:15, and I shall raise up shepherds, translated as pastors, over you after my own heart. If I'm a pastor to anybody, it's the people that I know and see and love and deal with every day, because we have an exchange between the two of us that is a two-way street of reproof and instruction. And if I'm leading a Bible study with Bear Camp, or a brother or sister comes to me with a question, to the extent that that puts me in a pastoral role, I'm totally okay with that. I've learned to be okay with that. But I don't have that type of exchange with y'all because it's not a back and forth. And I don't know your specific situation. I don't know your convictions. I don't know your background. I don't know where you've come from. And far be it from me to ever attempt to wield authority, including pastoral authority, over anybody, let alone somebody that I haven't met. And so I'm just very careful with that word. I do think that in large part what I do here, physically here, can fall into the role of pastorship. But I don't think that what I do here falls into the role of pastorship. That being said, I do think that there's been, by the hand of the Most High, not because I'm awesome, but because He's awesome, there's been many people that have been blessed because of this channel, and I'm just as amazed by it as y'all are. It blows my mind, but I'm not interested in wearing the hat of pastor for a bunch of people that I'm positive y'all are good people, and I'm amazed that the Father would use what we do here to bring people closer to Him, but I don't have any direct involvement in your life. And so I don't want to be put on any kind of pedestal ever when it comes to the word, let alone with somebody who I've not met. I think that's I could see where some would appreciate or even seek out that authority, and I'm not interested in that. So yeah,
I just noticed that two-way armory temple group training. He's on.
Temple group training's
So
on.
he is here.
What's up, temple group training?
They were talking about him earlier. Here's Mr.
Let's do
Minuteman.
it. Let's do it. Let's party. Let's be friends.
So somebody said, and I know it's a pork question, but so did Yah say not to eat pork, or was it in Hebrews?
Did y'all say not to eat pork?
So
It's
to me, it's in
Deuteronomy.
Leviticus.
It's in Leviticus
Leviticus.
11.
So it's long before Hebrews.
Noel says, "Sup, guys?"
What's up, no? So in Leviticus 11, it lays out what food is. And Matthew, when the Pharisees are trying to catch Yeshua, jam him up, and Yeshua says, because he's eating grain heads that he's plucking while walking through a field on the Sabbath, they say, hey, you shouldn't be eating that. I think it's Matthew 15. And he says, it's not what goes into a man's mouth that defiles him, but what comes out of it. And he's rebuking the Pharisees, but that whole chapter is about hand washing, not about what food is. Acts chapter 10, where Peter has his 3 visions, is not about food either. It's about the Father calling people clean. And he says, what I have called clean, no man shall call common or unclean. And so what I have cleansed, no man shall call common or unclean. And Peter actually yells at Yah and says, no, master, I've never eaten anything that's common or unclean. And then Peter gets off the roof, wonders what the vision is about, and 3 Roman dudes are standing at the gate. And then Peter goes, now I understand what the vision is about. It's about people. And then the gospel of Jesus Christ, of Yeshua HaMashiach, goes out from the Hebrews to the Gentiles, to the nations from there. And then it's foot stomped further in Acts chapter 11, where Peter retells it and explicitly states this is not about food, it's about people. And then you have in Romans 14, people like to say, well, see, it says here that we should not make eating or drinking a stumbling block between brothers. And so people like to say, see, that means I can eat or drink whatever I want to eat. It doesn't, because when it says the word food in the Bible has already been laid out. It's Leviticus 11. And the issue that's in Romans chapter 14 is not what food is. They're not talking about what food is or isn't. They're talking about whether or not you should eat food or not eat food. It's abstaining. And it's about people that were fasting to gain spiritual knowledge. And so what it's talking about is if I'm fasting to gain spiritual knowledge, Hami shouldn't be over here eating a cheeseburger, a triple right in my face. Yeah, this is great. That's what it's talking about. Or, for example, right now,
the grease.
Right here, just lick the button, right. So don't make that a stumbling block. And for example, it also says eating and drinking. Okay. Well, I'm under a Nazirite vow right now. If she was putting her cocktail underneath my nose, go on, drink it. That's what Romans 14 is about. It's not about what food is or isn't. And so, again, you have your witnesses, the Torah, the prophets, and the renewed covenant. They all line up throughout the entirety of the word.
Tavar 7 says the package is on the way.
Oh, snap. Tavar 7 rocks. Tavar 7 is supposed to tell me where to PayPal Tavar 7 for said package.
And Russ wants to know, what cigar are you enjoying?
Russ would like to know?
Yes.
This is a Drew Estates Acid. The square ones. It's not a Cuba. I can't remember. Deep dish. Drew Estates Acid deep
they're
dish.
Odd shape. Like, show them the end of it.
Yeah, they're square. I love them.
That's not a square. I mean,
they're rectangular.
Yeah.
They have.
Isn't a rectangle is a square, but a square is not a rectangle.
right. So,
Is it better than the coffee cigar?
No. Oh, by the way, somebody from training that unfortunately I missed the training event this past weekend in Texas, sent me home some cigars. In fact,
It's called box pressed.
Box pressed. That's what it is. Box press. somebody, in fact, a couple of people sent cigars home from training for me. Thank you. I smoked one of them today called a Leather Rose, which comes from Deadwood Tobacco Company, which is now owned by Drew Estate, which is phenomenal. I immediately went online. I was like, I got to get a box of these. They're awesome, and they're sold out.
Oh,
So
no.
I'd like to thank you for sending that cigar my way. They've made it onto they're probably in my top 10.
Sanctified just jumped on.
Sanctified, oh, Jerry and Lucia. That's their new theme song. Sanctified, Jerry and Lucia.
So
And Levi,
A TV show.
and 19 little dogs
I thought this was a good question.
in a bubble station wagon,
Never mind.
pressing t-shirts in the middle of nowhere.
The little yippy
In the
dog.
cabin.
Did you know the little
7:30
yippy
Central.
dog?
The little
What?
footballs.
Little
The
yippy
little
dogs.
footballs.
8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, 3:30 Mountain.
Tonight on
2:30
Sanctified.
Pacific time.
At 8:29 p.m. Eastern Mountain Time.
Anyway.
You came up with this. Don't look at me like that.
Why did that? What?
Somebody asked, I only eat once a day. Is that fasting? And of course, I have questions on what do you mean by fasting?
It is
It is
intermittent fasting
intermittent,
for
it doesn't
sure.
mean It's biblical fasting.
Biblical fasting is not only eating once per day, but it's also about why are you fasting? This is addressed in Isaiah. Isaiah 58.
There's a purpose to it. It's not just because you're not hungry and only eating.
Yeah,
once a day.
I've only eaten once today.
There are health
So
benefits to biblical fasting, but you're not biblically fasting usually for the health benefits.
correct. Biblical fasting is for the spiritual benefits.
Squares or rectangles.
But right, a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square.
It said Nathan from Houston sent that to you.
Nathan from Houston. Thank you, Nathan from Houston. Battle dog. What is up with the animals tonight?
Animals are like, Mom, Dad, please love
There's gonna be a sheep in your lap next. So
Well, it might be. I have to go feed them.
oh
here in a minute.
geez. So
me.
biblical fasting is for spiritual reasons. But you are technically fasting. It's called intermittent fasting, and it does for some people can have real positive
Nobody wants to know if Sam's gonna
implications.
jump on your shoulder.
That 120-pound battle dog is not going to jump on my shoulder.
He's a good boy. I know. Yes. He's a good boy.
Hey,
Good
buddy.
night to Ashley.
Yes.
It's 7:48.
What are you
She
doing?
said she was leaving.
Oh,
What are you doing?
you're going to bed.
Dad, I'm tired. I've been doing a lot of coyote murders. It's pretty rough out there, Dad.
His girlfriend's mom says hi.
His girlfriend. Oh, Lumph is here?
No.
Whose girlfriend's mom?
Sam's.
Hey.
Yeah, that's Lumph.
Oh.
Lou, that's the name of the dog?
Life
No,
on our
that-
micro farm.
Oh.
Lumph.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Life on our micro farm. 6
Okay.
syllables. Lumph.
That's
One.
a lot of acronyms that you just
You want tactical question?
What?
You want tactical question?
Tactical question, sure.
Desert Tech MDR 7.
No. Desert Tech MDR 762. Buy a wheel chock instead, because that's what you're purchasing.
Okay. There was another tactical question. Where is it? I think I sent it to
I'm not a fan. I
That's-
think Matt Storms, Sergeant Storms
that
would
it?
disagree with me, but I'm not a fan of the
Storms had a
bullpups.
question.
Storms had a question?
Yeah. Something
Buy an
about
AR-15.
new Something with a blah, 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 and a blah, blah.
That's on an AK upper on an AR
He only gets
platform.
one question.
Storms only gets
gets
one
the
question?
tactical question. Your gun only shoots one.
Sorry, sir, but your question had a malfunction.
You didn't hear me.
Thoughts on an AK upper on an AR lower?
Platform. Yeah.
Okay, so I think you're talking about like what they call like an AR-47 or something like that, like a 7.62 by 39 AR.
Why? Why spend your time? I have a to-do list. Would somebody like it? Because, I don't know.
If you're really into 76239, go for it. If you love 76239 and you also love AR ergos, go for it. It doesn't get my jollies off, but hey, that's the cool thing. The gun community is actually quite inclusive. We don't care what you like as long as you like guns. So unless it's a Desert Tech MDR 762.
Storm says the gas was turned down.
Lisa Steven, I saw you on Angry Prepper and have been watching you ever since. Your thoughts on Sabbath versus Sunday? Does it truly matter what day you worship God? Good question.
You should be doing it every day.
Well, but every day versus
Amen,
Sabbath is totally different. Every day versus Sabbath is totally different.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can put this in a nice, neat little package.
Stick with your rifle doing that.
Here's the deal. The Sabbath it's called counting the Omer, counting the days, has been done uninterrupted for more than 4,000 years. And so the Christian church, and mind you, I was raised in the Christian church. I was in a non-denominational evangelical church up until about 3.5 years ago, when I realized that we weren't getting the word of God. We were getting motivational self-help speeches every week, and that pissed me off, and I left. And then shortly thereafter, unfortunately, because we love everybody involved, but unfortunately that church imploded because of the egos of men. And I would submit it's because the word of the Creator was not being upheld underneath that roof any longer. Now, in Exodus 20, the 10 Commandments, the fourth commandment is the one that, see, even the modern Christian church would agree that, yes, we're supposed to keep the 10 Commandments. However, everybody likes to skip number 4. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Holy means sanctified. Sanctified means set apart. Well, remember the Sabbath day. That is something as Christians in 2021, ask yourself, how would I remember what the Sabbath is? Well, there are people who have been remembering it for 4,000 plus years. And you see, the Jews, which are the tribe of Judah, one of the 12 tribes of Israel, they're not all the Hebrews. They're not all of Israel. They're 1/12 of Israel. Have been counting the Omer for 4,000 years. They have the Old Testament. They have the Torah. Christians have the New Testament. They have Messiah. Well, they're both in the same binding. They're both in this book right here. They're both right here. They're in the same binding. And so what's typically lacking is a completeness of understanding in both faiths. In the mouths of 2 or 3, let everything be established. And this is not it is an Old Testament thing, but you can find it in Matthew 18 coming out of the mouth of Jesus, the mouth of Yeshua Messiah. And so the completeness of understanding is that the Yehudim, the Jews, while they have absolutely made a religion out of the Father's perfect law, they have the Torah. And if they keep the Torah, they got that part, but they're missing Messiah, who is the fulfillment of the Torah. The Christians have Messiah, and some of them have the Holy Spirit, but they don't have the Torah. They don't have that deep and meaningful relationship with Elohim, with our Creator, with Father Yah, and oftentimes suffer from acute emptiness in their spirituality because they get saved and it's like, well, what next? Well, just be good, don't sin. And the crux of that issue for me was, well, what the hell is sin? And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Well, you know, brother, sin is when you fall short of the mark. What mark? Well, it's when you make God angry. Well, what do you mean by, how do I make him angry? Well, you know, when you do something you're not supposed to do. Well, how do I know what that is? Well, it's when you fall short of the mark. Bullshit. If we're Christians, we should read our Bibles and do what Messiah did, which is 1 Peter 2:21. We're supposed to do what Messiah did. And so in the New Testament, 1 John 3 verse 4, it says sin is lawlessness. And that got me down this road. We're getting back to the 10 Commandments, the Torah. even the Christian church acknowledges, yes, we're supposed to do the 10 commandments. That part wasn't done away with, which of course begs the question, huh? Yeah, now we start jumping through theological hoops in order to suit the doctrines of men, not the word of our Creator. But if we do the 10 commandments, why don't we do the fourth one? Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. And so the Sabbath is what, and it depends on who you ask, because of course there's contention even among this. Some people observe it on Shabbat, on Saturday. Some people go by the phases of the moon. There's actually multiple Sabbaths, but that's a whole nother story for another time. The weekly Sabbath, we observe it on Saturday, Shabbat, because we remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Sunday is S-U-N. It is straight up pagan, and it gets back to the pagan roots in Christianity. Following the Council of Nicaea 312 AD, a whole bunch of paganism and Roman paganism, Emperor Constantine, but also feeding on some of the paganism that had found its way into the Jewish religion from the Babylonian exile and a whole bunch of other things, became codified as what Christians do. For the first 200 plus years, Christianity was a sect of Judaism. They were Jews who had found their Messiah. Well, that changed, and a big way to get Gentiles, to get, as the Bible refers to them, heathens, unbelievers on board, was to change the day of worship from Saturday, which was the Jewish day, to Sunday. And literally the marketing campaign was, hey, you're already worshiping the sun on Sunday. How about instead of worshiping the sun, you worship the Son of God? And so Christianity adopted a whole bunch of this paganness to ease the transition from a Jewish sect that believed in the come Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, to its own religion. It separated off from Judaism into Christianity. And part of that was the adoption of Sunday as the Lord's Day, the day of worship. Now, and I don't want to jump into any further rabbit holes, but the day of the Lord is completely different than the Lord's Day. And on the day of the Lord, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. And I'm telling you, and my heart breaks for these people who say, I can't wait to see the coming of the Lord. You will tremble in fear if you don't. This is addressed also in the Word. The demons hear his name and tremble. The demons hear his name and tremble. But you're not trembling. You don't know him. You don't have a visceral physical response to the name of Yahweh, your Elohim. And it goes so much deeper than that. And I don't want to get off on a tangent on that. But that's why we keep the Sabbath, because the Sabbath has been counted uninterrupted for 4,000 years. And we have a fullness of understanding. We believe in the entirety of the Bible. I'm a biblical literalist. Read the book, do what it says. We're not Jewish, because that is ripe with doctrines and dogmas of men. And I'm not Christian per se, because that's rife with the doctrines and dogmas of men. But I am a believer in Messiah who kept the Sabbath. You can read in the Gospels, and he was in the temple on the Sabbath, as was his custom. So Jesus himself went to the temple regularly on the Sabbath, as was his custom.
But it's also a lot more than that. Like, it's not just going to church on the Sabbath. Like, there's the do no business. There's the no servile work. There's no money exchanging. There's rest and focus on the Lord.
Well,
like,
remember the Sabbath and keep it holy.
Right.
It's a two-part command.
Yeah.
Remember it and keep it holy.
Right.
And so there's
it's not a box that you check off just because you went to church, whether it be Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, these churches today that have bookstores and coffee shops in them just remind me of Yeshua flipping tables over because there's people buying and selling and doing business in the temple. If you're going to call this place the house of God, at least listen to what he has to say on the matter. You know, but your Messiah drug people out by the necks and he walked into the temple, got pissed, left, premeditated, braided a whip, came back and drove people out and flipped tables over because of buying and selling in the temple. And so it just gets back to, if we're going to call ourselves followers of Christ, why don't we follow him?
Right.
Not what a man said, not what the pastor said, not, and again, taking nothing away from pastors, because I'm blessed to have a great one now. And I've had good ones in the past, but the deeper I read into my Bible, the more I read it and do it, the more I realize how flawed the religious indoctrination that I have received over the course of my life is. And in fact, it's one of the things that caused me to flee from the church at an early age, was the hypocrisy that I could see. If we read our Bibles, which we're supposed to do, and then we compare what's in the Bible against what we do, none of this makes any sense. And so I took it as the issue was with God. I was too young and too stupid to realize that, no, he's perfect. His followers, on the other hand, even with an earnest heart, make mistakes. And I'm really working on being more compassionate towards people that don't know because they've never been exposed to this stuff, because we didn't know.
Right.
I wasn't exposed to this stuff.
Right.
But it really just came from reading my Bible.
Yeah. 6 years ago, had somebody been
you
talking
like, you're
about
batshit crazy.
Like,
get out of
it
here.
would have been like, no way.
No.
Texas T just gave some for grandson.
Texas T, bless you. Thank you, Texas T. Texas T's a good dude. Appreciate you.
And kind of, Even No Knee Bro, Dan 3.
Eveno Nebro?
Yeah, I guess. Bear was reading Galatians earlier, and I'm wondering if you can give insight into the backstory of who, what Paul is speaking to.
The Galatians. I'm actually, it's a bend no knee, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bend no knee.
So we're actually not that far away from Galatians in our weekly Bible study. So I'm going to cover that when we get to Galatians in the weekly Bible study. I appreciate the question, but that's not something I want to dive into right now, although I do appreciate it. What do you got, Fo?
Ducks Garnifex?
Ducks Garnifex. Yes, I know Ducks.
Super chat.
Super chat. Thank you, Ducks. Armored said, do you think the Republic is lost? How do you know if you stand and fight for the Republic or if you stay home and let go because it's a lost cause? Man.
That's a morning question.
What?
That's a morning question.
That's a morning question. I'll answer that question this way. I don't currently see a viable option to restore the Republic. Now, I'm educating myself in that regard. I'm talking with people that perhaps do see viable options to restore the Republic. I think the political option is gone. I really don't believe that. I used to think that voting didn't matter. Now I know it doesn't matter.
It really upsets me.
It really upsets me too.
I have voted it.
Right. Hey, there's a chair there. Have another drink.
That was not a drink thing.
I think any.
I love voting. I love
45 or 300 Win Mag.
300 Win Mag with a fixed bayonet.
Everything about voting.
So I don't believe that our civic participation at a federal level matters anymore.
And it's horrible.
And there are people that I'm talking with, for example, the guys at tacticalcivics.com. and they have a plan. I don't know enough about the plan yet to believe it, endorse it, disbelieve it, not endorse it. I don't know. I'm just gathering information right now. The question really is, when you say fight, what do you mean by fight? Because I do believe the powers that be definitely want us divided. And I do believe if someone was to take up arms in defense of their country right now, it would only suit their purposes.
Oh my God.
And on open channels like this, I can't answer that question further than to say every man and every woman needs to know what their lines in the sand are. What will you absolutely not permit to happen? And I know what mine are.
And local matters.
And local matters. We are in 2021 getting far more engaged at the local level here. I mean, this could be as simple as who's your mayor and do you know him or her? Have you talked to your sheriff yet? How well do you know the officers in your police department? What can you do on a local and on a county level to strengthen community bonds? How well do you know your neighbors? I think we're headed in the direction for dark days as a nation. I really do believe that balkanization is possible because 50% of the country doesn't believe that Bravo India Delta Echo November is the duly elected president. And there's still quite a few trust the plan people out there that may or may not be right. We tend to have a difference of opinion on that. But there's still many people out there that are still referring to Donald Trump as POTUS. That in itself is an indicator. We know that the FBI and now the DHS and the Department of Justice are all, there's a proposed bill, HR 350, to give them their own domestic terrorist units and offices within those organizations. And do the math. I also think that, unfortunately, too many people underestimate the cost. And I don't mean treasure, I mean blood and something like that. And I know that many, many, many hundreds of thousands, millions of people have sworn an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I get it. I totally understand. But I also know that the first rule of tactics is don't fight a battle you can't win. And I don't know. I don't know. And it's why I'm gathering as much intel as I can right now. Because no matter what happens going forward, I don't believe we're going to get the United States of America back that we had. Because history goes forward. It doesn't go backwards. There will be something new. And I think it's up to us to determine what that something new looks like. Is it going to be something new that's honorific of our founding documents, that's honorific of our creator, that actually adheres to Judeo-Christian values, whether you are an atheist or not? Is it something that respects individual liberties? Is it something that is fiscally conservative? Is it something that allows us to take personal responsibility and have the least amount of government possible to just simply prevent anarchy? Or is it going to be some big, heavy-handed, iron-fisted, overarching conglomerate of socialism that literally tells you what to do, what to wear, what to eat, where to work, what to think? I don't want the latter. And I'm not quite sure yet how to build the former. It's on my heart. It's on my mind. I want freedom. I very selfishly want it for my children and for my friends and my family and my loved ones. And then in ever-expanding circles out from there, I don't know how to make the country free. I do know how to keep us free for as long as possible. And to that point too, especially in the political climate that we find ourselves in, I take certain risk even being on here talking about these things. I'm not a radical. I've never been a radical. I don't know how many times I said, I just want to be left the hell alone. We want to run our homestead, worship our creator, run our businesses, live our little lives. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Right. And you're on the list. Yes, many of us are on a list.
We're
but
all
there
on the
are
list.
Much bigger fish to fry right now, and we're not
Small bait.
causing trouble yet.
Think about it.
What they haven't hit our line yet. They hit our line, we'll cause trouble, but they're not.
And here's where I think it legitimately gets dangerous for us, is the talking points of independence and liberty and dependence upon our creator, not dependence upon our earthly masters, is counter to what they teach and preach in the system. And so it undermines the authority of the system. And so dissenting voices will be shut down, are being shut down. And yes, sir.
Dana Freeman says, I'll soon be trained to be a 68W.
68 whiskey. Awesome.
To save lives. I will be making it a mission to save lives in service of the Father's kingdom.
Awesome.
All praise to Yah.
Good job, Dana. That is awesome. 68 whiskey's no joke, man. That's awesome. Congratulations.
I just say, if you aren't prepared for what's coming, there's a bare minimum. There's a cupcake.
Right. Somebody asked, where's our line?
We can't discuss where our line is on open channels.
No, I don't mean like, I wasn't thinking like specifically where our line is, but like, where would people's lines be? Like, we've talked vax before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, big, easy ones. We're not taking a vax. You're not taking our guns. You know what I mean? Like, there's some big ones. It's
You're
like,
not taking my land.
No, not in my land. Like,
I'm not getting on the bus.
Yeah. I mean, there's some.
You will not threaten my people.
Yeah.
The end. That will not happen.
The pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights.
We need to be able to worship.
And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's some great lines to start with. And
those are people are asking what the lines need to be. Those are lines.
Well, those are lines. And it takes awareness and diligence on our part. And I'll be the first one to admit that as much as I hate politics, we have to be in contact with our representatives if we have any hope. Yeah, we have to, what's that phrase? Think globally, act locally. We have to do that. But also when something like this HR 350 and HR 127 come up, you'd better be on the phone with your representatives. Hey, man, this is unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. Do not end up on the wrong side of history, sir or madam. So, and I'll be the first one to admit, I'm perhaps a bit complacent in these things because I live in Oklahoma. We have a state law that nullifies any federal gun control. We have a state law that asserts the sanctity of life. We have a state law that has constitutional carry. We have a state law that says if you pose a threat to me in my home, my place of business, or my place of worship, I can absolutely employ deadly force and be held to no harm whatsoever. Oklahoma is everything Texas thinks it is. It is awesome here. And no, you shouldn't move here. And so I'm insulated from a lot of the crazy, to which people would say, yeah, what happens when it comes to you? I don't know. We'll deal with it when it comes to us. But I do see on a macro level all these things that are taking place elsewhere, and they concern me. But again, willing to admit perhaps I'm complacent because it doesn't directly affect me, at least not yet. And so that's something to the extent that I can, I'm trying to be more aware of, but not so aware that it eats me up. Because I also think, and let's be honest, I think it's possible that we have another 4 years of less than ideal under Bravo, India, Delta, Echo, November.
Burn your shoes.
And it could be bad. We know how to deal with bad. We've dealt with bad. And this is the thing. I think the biggest challenge with all of this is, that thing that we were preparing for, it's here.
Now.
It's now. We're here now. That adjustment to your OODA loop is critical. We're here now. I mean, global food shortages are coming in 2021. We've been talking about it for a couple of years. They're manifesting now. Restrictions on firearms and ammunition, they're manifesting now. Restrictions on commerce and trade are manifesting now. Civil unrest, geez. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I would rather free speech, exactly, freedom of religion. But I would rather observe and deal rationally with what we know to be true than to irrationally amplify potentialities. It could be terrible. It could be terrible. I agree. It could be terrible. It has the potential to be terrible, but we're here now. Let's deal with the reality of the fact that we're here now. The what if, I agree. It could be terrible. And to a large part in preparedness, what we do is we look at potential threats and we forecast solutions to those threats. It's unfortunate, but we're here now. A lot of the threats that we've been forecasting are either here or have an increased potential to become a reality. And I don't like it. I got a 4-year-old, y'all. I have a 4-year-old.
Who's here now? Liberty.
Liberty.
She's here?
I have a 4-year-old. You think I don't want that beautiful little girl to grow up in the best environment possible, with as much liberty as possible, with the best chance at economic success as possible, with no threats whatsoever? I'm a 14-year-old. That girl's going to be spreading her wings in a few years. You think I want to send her out into the world as it is right now? No, not even a little bit. It is less than ideal, and I have a vested interest in making it as ideal as possible. But the only way I know how to do that right now is on the micro, on the things that I can touch, the things that I can positively affect right here, right now.
The things you can actually change.
Yeah, the things I can actually change. I don't know how to fix the macro. But like I said, I'm trying to figure it out.
They're always dropping the OODA.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Jan Blackwater said, learning about the law and renewing my relationship with Yah and studying of the Bible and having the conviction to try to follow the Torah has been freeing beyond comprehension for me. Go figure, following law is freeing, but I believe only God's laws can do that.
Amen. What does Yeshua say? Comes the yoke and the burden. Jesus has a yoke. He has a burden. There are things we got to do. And it's not simply love the Lord your God with everything you've got and love your neighbor as yourself. It is that. But what that has been turned into by the Christian church is so far off from the truth that it no longer applies. And see, you have the one Elohim, the creator, who gave us these two prime directives through Yeshua, through his son, through Jesus, the Messiah. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. That's Deuteronomy 6, verse 4. And love your neighbor as yourself. That's Leviticus 19, verse 18. On this hangs all the Torah and the prophets. And so Christendom would say, see, all we got to do is love our neighbor and love God, and we're good. That's all the Torah and the prophets summed up right there by Jesus. The problem with that statement is that it's untrue. From the one, you have the 2 prime directives. Then you get back into the 10 commandments. Half of those commandments are up, down, between us and Yah. And half of those commandments are left, right, between us and our neighbor. Then if you need click here for more help, you have the 613 about how you love Yah with everything that you've got and how you love your neighbor as yourself. So when Yeshua says, on this hangs all the Torah and the prophets, he's correct. Of course he's correct, because he's Elohim. He is the embodiment of the Torah. But if you need, see, and this is the thing, if we decide how we worship Elohim, if we decide how we love our neighbor, then we're putting ourselves above God. It doesn't work that way. We do what he tells us to do. We don't put him on our timeline. We don't put him under our rules. It's the other way around. He puts us on his timeline. He puts us under his rules. Come to me, all ye who labor. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. And it is totally freeing. It is totally freeing. What does Moses say in Deuteronomy? I set before you today life and a blessing and death and a curse. So
Carrie Stennett has a super chat.
Carrie Stennett has a super chat. Thank you, Carrie Stennett.
Thank you, Bear, for sharing your time with us.
Bless you, Carrie. Thank you.
And ZQ Spider.
ZQ Spider.
Super chat.
Bless you, ZQ Spider. Thank you.
And White Fox.
And someone asked, what is OODA loop?
OODA loop. OODA. It's a loop. You run through it. Thus, OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. So, little primer on OODA loop. The first thing you got to do is observe something. You see it happening. The next thing you have to do is you have to orient on it. You have to point yourself towards it. You can't just simply observe it. You have to focus your attention on it. Then you have to decide what you're going to do about it. This thing that you've observed and you're now oriented on. You have to decide, should I run away? Should I fight this thing? Can I delay this thing? Is it a good thing? It's a bad thing? You have to decide, and then you have to act on that decision. You have to turn the mental into the physical. So that's OODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act. And I think too many people are observing what is happening politically in this country, socioeconomically in this country, but they haven't truly oriented on the fact that it's here. Then you have to decide, what are you going to do about it? And like I said, on the macro, I don't know yet. Maybe nothing, maybe something, I don't know. Whatever I can do morally, legally, ethically, I'll do it. But I don't even know what those options are yet. I do know on the micro, we've made those decisions, what we're going to do in the micro. We're going to put up a greenhouse, and we're going to continue to grow our flocks and our herds, and we're going to do all the things that we talk about doing at this channel every day. But then we have to act on them. Me simply deciding I'm going to have a greenhouse doesn't make one appear. I have to put the greenhouse up.
Or make things grow.
Or make things grow. Right. We've decided, for example, we have observed that we have a lot of sheep. We oriented on the fact that we have a lot of sheep. Okay, now we're paying attention to this. What are we going to do about it? We have decided we're going to build a barn next to, on the line between our sheep and our cows. We've decided that. We've decided what it's going to look like, how big it's going to be, how it's going to be constructed. Now we have to act. Now we have to do it, right? And so the OOD gets you to the point of action. The better your observation is, the more quickly and accurately you can orient on it, the better decision you're going to make about it, the better your actions are going to be for you. And so that gets back to founding your thoughts in truth, rationality, not irrationality. Because if you're acting irrationally or being fed bad information. We've talked about this when it comes to the narrative. Just because you've taken the opposing viewpoint of the people you don't like within the narrative doesn't mean the narrative's true. You're still singing from the same sheet of music. It's just one person singing in a major key, you're singing in a minor key. It's you're opposites of one another, but the narrative itself can be complete and total BS. And so if you're not oriented, observing in truth, founding your thoughts in truth, everything downstream from there is going to be polluted. So that's OODA loop. What do you got?
Super chat, eagle-eyed. Do you think being wise as serpents pertains to comprehending and being able to speak legalese, Black's law, maritime, etc.?
Being wise as serpents first and then gentle as doves is about wisdom and discernment. You can apply that wisdom and discernment however you see fit. If maritime law is where you're interested, go for it. But it's about wisdom and discernment first and then gentle as doves. Because we can also read in the word where it says, he that has no sword, sell your cloak and buy one. You don't buy a sword so you can tickle people with it, right? That's not what it's for. And so before you're gentle as a dove with somebody, you have to make the determination whether or not you keep your sword sheathed. So wisdom and discernment. And I would add that if you ask the Father daily for wisdom and discernment, he will give it to you. If you ask with an earnest heart, and if you've spent any time with us during the brief Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and had an opportunity to catch the prayer at the end, we ask for the same things every time we pray. Not ritualistically. It's not an incantation. It's just these, in my humble opinion, are the things that we need. We need wisdom and discernment so that we know how to act and that we're acting in accordance with the Father's will. We need strength and power to withstand the enemy and authority to act on behalf of Messiah, to be his hands and feet. We need healing because we're all busted up people, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. We need healing. And the Father created us. He knitted us together from nothing. He knows how our bodies work. He knows how our minds work. He authored our soul. And so if there's something that can be fixed, it can be fixed by him. So we need his healing. And then we need peace that surpasses all understanding, because the world is cray-cray. And so we need to be at peace through him and be founded in him, not in the world. And so ask for wisdom and discernment earnestly. He will give it to you.
And the OODA loop ends with action, which action beats anxiety.
There you
People
go.
have a lot of anxiety and fear right now because they're watching, they're doing the O's.
Right.
They never get to the
They never get to the decide and act. It's a
Never
great
get to the
point.
loop.
For those that maybe didn't hear Renee, she said that the OODA loop just ends with action. And we say here that action beats anxiety, right? You defeat anxiety with action. And so you have to get through the O's, decide, and then act. And so that you're not dealing with that fear and anxiety of what's going out in the world. And that's, Pastor Joe says this, do the best you can with what you got where you're at. What else can you do?
Right.
What else is there to do? If there's something, and
That's what you have at your power to change.
right. But I think that's what jams a lot of people up, especially with anxiety, is that there are things that you could do that you're not doing. Because I sleep great at night. Ask my wife. I'm out, insta sleep. Because I'm not leaving anything out on the field. I'm doing what I can, right? We have, let's not even mention planning. Oh my gosh, you're not so much, but me and Renee are, we're planners. And and once you have a plan, you can execute on that plan to defeat that anxiety. You've done everything that you can do. There's not another, and when you get to the point where there's not another thing you could possibly do, take a deep breath, thank your creator, and chillax for a minute. And this has been cropping up over and over and over again in my life lately. I've been hearing this over and over again from all these different sources. And witnesses. In the mouths of 2 or 3, let everything be established. Ecclesiastes 13, the end of the book. Let us hear the conclusion of the matter. Serve Yahweh and keep his commands, for this is the duty of man. What else is there? There is nothing else. Okay, you've done everything you can do. What's left? Serve your creator. Do what he told you to do. Roger.
Yep.
Yep.
Patreon question.
Okay.
Complete different spectrum, but Bear, best pistol and long arm drill for teaching my teenage sons.
How do you do that?
That's from White Fox. Figured you know all the drills.
White Fox. Well, if he's on Patreon, he should have just seen the video that got put up yesterday. Patreon range drills to stay sharp. I would let's assume they know nothing. The first thing I would teach them is basic firearm safety. Here's how you don't kill yourself or anybody else with this pistol or rifle. I think you know that. I'm just saying that so that it's said. Then I would work on basic marksmanship. I teach marksmanship to our young men here. And we loosely define marksmanship as the art and science of hitting your target. And so we deal with practical accuracy and absolute accuracy. Practical accuracy meaning go! And you hit this water bottle that fast from 25 yards away. And then absolute accuracy being take your time, make the shot, shoot the cap off of this water bottle from 200, 300, 500 yards away. Okay? And discussing the difference between the two and why they matter. When we need practical accuracy, when we need absolute accuracy. And then work on your fundamentals. A basic up drill, coming from either the low ready or the holster, coming up, presenting the weapon, making a hit, coming back to low ready. Do that over and over and over again until you have the automaticity to where you can present the weapon, get a good sight picture, good sight alignment, squeeze the trigger without manipulating the pistol either direction, make a hit. Hits build confidence. So don't start at 25 yards away. Start at 7 yards or 10 yards to where they can hit, and then work up from there to where the up drill goes from up, bang, to up, bang, up, bang, up, bang. Okay. And then move from there. Reloads are good. And we like shooting the El Prez drill. We like shooting the Mozambique drill. We do the Pat Mac X pattern drill. That one's a beast. There'll be a video on Patreon coming out about that. And then also decide, what are you trying to train them up in? Do you want them to be able to make one hit at a considerable distance with a full power rifle to put meat on the table? Do you want them to be able to run carbines? Do you want them to have an understanding of a defensive pistol and how that works and how to shoot, move, communicate, and the legalities of employing that weapon in a defensive role? What is your goal? But I think it starts with basic competency above all things, which starts with basic marksmanship, how to present the weapon, get a good sight picture, sight alignment, squeeze the trigger without over manipulating the platform, and make good hits. The art and science of hitting your target. And then
So in the background hitting the target with a spoon.
Yeah, as long as foes with a ball peen hammer in the background smacking the steel plate, we're good to go. I mean, with the price of ammo these days, we're gonna have to go there. I'm gonna go bang, and then foe's gonna smack the target with a ball peen. Bang, ping, bang, ping, bang, ping.
Mm-hmm.
But our boys are hitting 18-inch steel targets at 250 yards repeatedly, reliably with 22s.
And somebody asked, how do you like train them when ammo is so limited? To me, it's like use 22s.
We just talked
Not-
about paying with the hammer.
22s,
Yeah.
dry fire practice.
Right.
We have our training division has Glock 19 BB guns. It's got all of the same sight pictures, same weight, same size, same trigger, same everything. Uses a 12-gram CO2 cylinder, shoots BBs. Is it as cool as a Glock 19? No, not even close. Is it more affordable? Yes. Can you find ammo for it? Yes. Can they really hurt themselves or kill themselves with it? No. Might even be a good place to start with that, is until they have.
I was going to say, you need to have a kit with you if you're doing training.
Here you go.
Like a minimum.
Show the people.
Yeah.
What's our promo code tonight?
Mouse.
Mouse.
15% off.
Right. And if you go to Refuge Medical, you get the cool patch.
Yeah. But yeah, like ricochets happen, accidents happen. The last thing you want is to be out on a range or anywhere else and something happen and you not have what you need.
Yeah, apparently. What's it called when you accidentally shoot in your house?
Accidentally shoot in your
An
house.
accidental discharge.
Accidental discharge happens
Yes.
to people that
We
Oh,
know,
yeah.
too,
Trust.
that it's
Yep.
happened to. So
Yes.
luckily enough,
Wasn't me.
nobody was
It
hurt.
wasn't me.
Right.
Just let's all get on the same
Yeah.
page here. It was not me.
Nobody was hurt, but
You know,
like
just-
you need to make sure you have a kit. And most of the time we get like our lives saved aren't from gunshot wounds.
Oh, you're talking about our first aid kits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 13 lives actually saved.
Motor vehicle
And
accidents.
most of them are more motor
stabbings.
vehicles.
Yep.
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 So you never know when you're going to need one.
Yep.
So get one tonight.
Handmade.
15% off.
Made in America. Guaranteed forever.
Be
Exceeds
prepared.
military specification. 13 lives saved. 4 continents with 4 branches of the armed forces around the globe. And if you get a Marpat, we'll put a couple snacks in there for you as well.
Tyra has a question for Renee.
Uh-oh, what?
Tyra Banks.
No, Tyra
Oh.
Hebert.
Tyra Banks
Never.
asking me a
Tyra
question?
Hebert.
I'm no longer interested.
Um,
Sorry, just kidding.
she's
She's
late,
old now.
but she's wondering
She is
what
old now.
homeschool curriculum y'all use.
Oh,
Our
boy.
private school is closing, like everything else, no money, and I decided to homeschool, looking into faith-based suggestions.
Faith-based suggestions.
Do you want me to spin this so that they
Oh.
can see and hear you? you-
She's got to get ready. Hold
Are
on.
you-
I'm sorry.
Can you turn that?
Can
for
you
me?
turn it? I can. Oh, we can talk about that.
I can show you the world. Something. Hammer, hammer, hammer.
I know, I don't have my tiara tonight.
Hammer, hammer.
I actually got a new tiara today, but I was not wearing it tonight because I
Right.
didn't think I was gonna be on camera. But okay, faith-based suggestions to me would be basically grab your Bible. Like, there's a lot of curriculums out there that are faith-based, but most of the time, I mean, when you're dealing with math and language arts and things like that, they're basically they put some Bible verses on the page. So faith-based to me is not as important unless you're dealing with like history, providential history, that kind of thing. And so Mystery of History is my favorite faith-based history curriculum. It's a 4-year rotation. It's what we use and we love it. If you use it from, elementary, you basically do the rotation once in elementary, once in middle, and once in high school. So they do kind of like low, middle, and a high level of it. When you're talking about language arts and math, it's kind of a skill set. You just kind of move forward. To me, the question would be finances. Do you want to do it online? Do you want workbooks? What is your child's learning style? So to me, my very first question with people is, what is your child's learning style and what is your life like? Because it's not only about, yes, it's about what your child's learning style is, but it's also about what your life looks like. Do you have all day long to be able to sit and teach your children and come up with creative, amazing
Hell no.
Pinteresty ideas to be able to do stuff? There's some amazing stuff out there. You can spend years on Pinterest pinning all the cool ideas.
Oh.
Some people need they've got high schoolers and they need to be able to like hook them up online and like let them, self-teach. And and other people need kind of something in the middle. And if you work full time, yes, you can still homeschool. And so a lot of it is going to depend on your child and what you are looking to teach them. So remember, a lot of school is about kids learning to learn to learn. It's not about what they're actually learning, if that makes sense. So yes, they need to be moving forward in language arts, and they need to be moving forward in math. What that looks like depends on where your child's starting, where you want them to go, and what they plan on being when they get older, because that's important.
So to the language arts and math, just a quick point. 2 and 2 is 4, and verbs are verbs, regardless of what your religious beliefs are.
Right. There's
so
you can use the Bible to teach language arts. You can use the Bible copy work. They can learn, you can just use a Bible and have them copy down scripture, and they can learn to read using a Bible. There's lots of old readers you can find that are from, they call them like the Noah plan, kind of like the how Lincoln learned to read kind of a thing. You use the Bible and use these basic readers to be able to teach phonics and things like that. There's some really cheap things online. There's a lot of even online curriculum that's totally free. So my advice would be, don't go spend a lot of money, because you're basically going to throw away the first like 3 or 4
You're
curriculums.
still figuring it out.
Yeah, the first 3 or 4 curriculums you buy, do not buy anything that's a giant box set for like $3,000. I promise you, it'll be worthless. Ambleside Online, it's not a faith-based. It is a Charlotte Mason-based, which is kind of a nature homesteading-based idea, and it's a lot of literature. So it's a lot of like library. You can use the Library of Congress. They have a lot of reading that's available online. A lot of free stuff is available out there. So don't go spend a lot of money. Figure out your kid. And if your kid is coming from full-time school and been in full-time school for many years, the average it takes is 1 month for every year that they've been in school to basically de-school them, because the worst thing you can do is try to do school at home, because school at home is miserable. Anybody who's been doing virtual schooling, which I think is like everybody over the last year, virtual schooling is miserable, and virtual schooling and homeschooling are not the same thing at all. When you homeschool, you are the teacher. You decide what they need to learn, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, what is just BS and busy work and who cares. And sometimes you need to go in the garden and stick your hands in the dirt, and sometimes you need them to like figure out what your grocery bill is and meal plan for the week, and like teach them some real stuff so that they're learning, and it's about their goals. So yeah, I could go on forever, but it's about figuring out what you want them to be when they grow up and what's important to you as a family. And the most often question asked is, what if I want them to go back to school eventually? Because like, I don't want to do this forever. They test them. It's fine. They move forward. It's not a big deal. It's way big. We make it to be a much bigger deal than it really is. So,
Cool.
Don't let them watch TV all day. Make them read a book or
Play video games.
play video games.
Yeah. Don't let them play video games.
Don't.
Today.
Yeah.
Not all day.
Not all day. Just like 8 or 12 hours a day.
Right.
Definitely not 16. That's too much.
Too much.
I can show you the world.
Yeah,
Why
they should
is
not
that
live in your
song
basement.
stuck in my head now?
That's an easy subject.
You know what song or what movie that's
A
from?
whole new world. Yeah.
What?
It's from Aladdin.
Okay. Good
Come
job.
on.
Good job.
Princess Jasmine. Yeah. What else we got?
Position, or should I get a 300 Win Mag?
No.
I currently have half your recommendation for ammo for 308 stocked, and I'm trying to decide whether to spend more money, more ammo, or a new platform.
Don't buy a new platform. Listen, 308's been getting it done to 800 yards for the Army and 1,000 yards for the Marines for the last 60 years. When did the M14 come out? Yeah, 50, 60 years. Are there other better rounds? Yes. But at what cost? If you already have a 308, you're going to be fine and DMR, and let's just briefly touch on this. Designated marksman rifle. A designated marksman rifle, words the best, believe it. A designated marksman fills the gap between a standard rifleman and a sniper. Okay, so you want to be able to put, yes, you want to be able to put direct fire on a target at a given distance.
The world heater died.
308 will do that. 338, 50 cal, 7mm Remington Magnum, 6.5 Creedmoor. Yeah, all of those rounds are probably going to go farther. I mean, they will go farther. But you get into a rules of engagement and ethics question about engaging somebody at such a great distance. And this is just truth in advertising. This is honesty here. Engaging somebody that requires high-powered magnified optics to even identify. Whole nother story. Now, if they're shooting at you first, okay, perhaps. Yeah, we can get down on that. You could also maneuver, right? Run away, run away.
Savvy's trying to time out.
What's a good recommendation for battle bag?
Hold on, I'm still answering this damn question.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought he was running away.
So
I thought you went almighty Python on us.
So 308 will get the job done. Is it as sexy as 6.5 Creedmoor? No. Is it as powerful as 7mm Remington Magnum? No. Is it as cool as 50 cal or 338? Nope. Is it 300 Win Mag? No. But let's have a little side talk. 300 Win Mag's overrated. It's only 1,200 rounds supersonic, or 1,200 yards supersonic. 7mm Remington Magnum, 50% farther, 1,800 yards supersonic. Come on now. So 308's fun. Just find some more ammo for it. You're good to go. And somebody that knows how to run their 45-70 Marlin lever gun, knows how to use it, is going to do better than somebody with their high-speed designated marksman rifle that doesn't know how to use it. So practice with it. Get time in behind the glass. Figure out what your dope is. Actually collect data on previous engagements. Get your ballistic drop down. And the optic plays a huge part of this as well, depending on what your optic is. A lot of the optics that are out there now have phenomenal reticles in them that take a lot of the guesswork out. They'll have your wind holds in there. They'll have your elevation holds. So it's, you couple a good optic with a good reticle with one of these, a rangefinder, dude, you're in business. Learn to shoot the 308. I'd say learn to shoot the 308. Keep stacking your ammo up and get absolutely proficient with that weapon for as far as you can shoot. And it'll do 308 with light loads is good for varminting. With heavier loads is good for whitetail, maybe even black bear. That's questionable. But, you know, medium-sized game, no problem. If you really feel like you need something other than that after you've mastered the 308, maybe get something else. I'll also tell you that ballistically, 22 long rifle at 300 yards has almost the exact same. It replicates the external ballistics of 308 Winchester at 1,000 yards. So start shooting your 22 at 300 yards. Learn to hit with your 22 at 300 yards. It'll save you a lot of ammo expense on shooting that 308, but definitely get glass time in on the 308 as well. And then after you mastered the 308, if you feel like you need a 7mm Remington Magnum or 338 Lapua Magnum, okay, cool. But use what you got. It's much better to be proficient with what you have than to be chasing the dragon on the next tactical high because there's always going to be a new cool piece of gear, a new better round, a new reticle, a new carbon fiber barrel, a new chassis thing that I can put my handgun into that turns it into a PDW, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. Learn to use what you have. Learn to use what you have. You have a 308. Learn to use what you have. All right. What else we got?
People want to know if we can have trivia night.
Trivia night. Like what kind of trivia?
I don't know, but it sounds like fun.
Right.
It's like a game, and I like to win things.
They ask me or I ask them or
like
what?
a
Is it
Can I
bear
win?
trivia?
Can I win?
Is it general knowledge?
I want to know if I can win.
You have the potential to win.
I know I can win. Or I think we should have repetitive question bingo.
Yes, I think the frequently asked questions need to be bingo cards.
Bingo cards?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we can give out prizes.
I'm down with this.
You can give a sticker or a patch or
Right there.
right. They're in the store.
Oh, they're in the store now?
Yeah, they've been in the store for like an hour.
Has anybody bought one now?
I don't
Save
know.
on those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mouse?
You
I think so.
mouse
They should be able to.
save.
So my wife assures me that the Refuge Medical patches are now in the store at refugemedical.com, and you can use promo code MOUSE for 15% off. You put the gray ones in too? So you got the gray one, and you've got the camouflage one as well right there. So if you'd like to get one, you may do so at refugemedical.com. We appreciate you greatly for supporting our small business.
Yeah,
And
15% off is at everything at the store.
15% off everything at the
Training.
store. Tonight only, promo code MOUSE, right?
Yep.
So that's IFACs, that's tourniquets,
It's components.
that's
it's
components, that's stickers, there's patches,
All the
that's
stickers.
everything, all of it.
So Full Metal Texan wants to know, Bear, I have a wrought iron fence around my house.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a recommendation on enhancing that layer of security? I sandbagged my second story windows.
Where do you live?
Because that's a lot to. And what's Bear's favorite whiskey?
Peanut butter.
Bingo.
Peanut butter Blanton's. You had a peanut butter Blanton's.
We're not putting peanut butter in Blanton's. No, you put one ice cube in Blanton's.
Like,
Would it be like bland and like put Reese's peanut butter cups in it and let it sit for a month?
No.
There was a recipe that Pandy tagged me in that was a
Okay.
Reese's
It's
cup
just like no.
shot
So,
glass, but it was like a Reese's cookie.
all right. So
We're just messing with this
reinforcing a wrought iron fence. Is it a 3-foot tall wrought iron fence? Is it an 8-foot tall wrought iron fence? Is it 5.5, which is kind of the neighborhood standard? My mind instantly goes to, if you sandbag your second story and you need to reinforce your wrought iron fence, you live in the wrong place. I would say that
Because you have
You
a
don't-
wrought
don't
iron
even-
fence for a reason.
don't even do an area study. You live in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Move to the right place, then do an area study. I mean, what is there? Concertina wire and more sandbags? There's nothing that comes to mind immediately that is not going to present at full value, that it's going to go unseen. I mean, you could swap out the wrought iron fence for a privacy fence if you want to limit line of sight.
Or
But-
put some electric fence around it.
Well,
I
yeah,
thought
that
about
goat
electric
will shock
fence.
the hell out of
Yeah, goat fence will shock the hell out of you. You could,
Ask Caroline.
but no, I mean, in my mind, if we've got a wrought iron fence already and we sandbag the second story and we're still concerned, I live in the wrong place. I mean, what's next? A sniper tower and a machine gun nest? What else is there? You're going to have bollards out front of your driveway and an armed guard? I mean, we go too far in that direction, it gets unrealistic. What do you got?
Right Side of Brain 85 gave $50 to Grindstone.
Right side of the
Bless-
brain 85. Bless you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate you.
Building Caleb House. Somebody just said, Bear, do you reload? Ha ha ha.
Bingo.
Yeah, we'd have to make the rules of like on the bingo is like you can't ask the question, or if any of your close friends ask the questions on your bingo
Tyra
card.
says you're the best.
My close friends are on my porch.
So my card has this question. Let me ask it.
So
No, I don't.
Hello,
have a chamber.
Livestock.
what?
Message Cigar.
He messaged me.
But did you message back?
No, he's live streaming.
I'm live
I
streaming.
know, but that's what the person got a message while you were live and was confused.
I've messaged none of the people back that have messaged me
Just
during live streaming.
Got it.
Because I'm live
That's
streaming. But when I'm
That's
not
what I
live
thought the
streaming,
answer was, but
I will message them back.
How do you
potentially.
make chickens poop 9mm?
How do you make chickens poop 9mm? Well, you got to feed them clean brass, primers, gunpowder, and either FMJ or hollow points, depending on what kind of chickens you got. And then crack the egg open, and you're going to get anywhere between 2 and 3 rounds per chicken in there,
Right.
which is actually pretty good. So the number of chickens that I've got,
chicken up
I get 1,000 rounds a week. So
I haven't been over there. She's got
And
the
then
crap out of me today.
Kentucky Prepper said, I traveled from Kentucky to Texas for the Stop the Bleed course last weekend with Refuge Medical. Got my Verifac, worth the trip, and Refuge Medical met some good people.
awesome.
He actually said ate some good people, but
He ate some good people. Don't eat our people, man. I need them. But I'm glad that you came all the way from Kentucky for some casual cannibalism.
especially seeing
That's-
when you're doing a class
Well,
in Nashville.
People have
Yeah.
been asking for some classes that are not
Thank
in
you for
Oklahoma
coming.
and Texas.
Well, they're coming. There's 4 classes in Nashville right now. There will be more classes put up in other places around the country in the near future. And when they come up, we will announce them. But I would recommend that if you're within, they're not going to be on top of each other. So
No.
if you're within 3 to 4 hours of Nashville, come on out, make a weekend of it. Let's hang out. It'll be a good time. And I do appreciate you, Kentucky Prepper. I appreciate your words. We try to put together good training events, and I've been pleasantly pleased with them. I mean, a lot of Stop the Bleed classes are just garbage. They're boring and death by PowerPoint. There's no practical application. So
And that's what makes ours different is that you actually get
it's half practical application.
to scream in pain
Yeah,
when you apply a tourniquet because you know you're actually putting it on right.
come on out to the 8-hour class. I'll mug you.
Yeah, unless you're shot by Sister Katie.
Unless your sister Kate, she'll mug you first, which is awesome.
I just love her
I-
reaction
yep,
to that.
it-
It's the best.
Yep, she's awesome.
Literally the best.
Gurkha Beast, for those that are going to want to know, a Gurkha Beast.
We got beef bacon coming.
We got beef
Bacon's
bacon
almost
coming?
here.
So that's awesome.
Give me
But
yay.
unbeknownst to any of y'all, I have 6 cases to pick up from the butcher tomorrow.
Oh, well, I got 10 pounds. So.
Well, there's no such thing as too much beef bacon.
No.
So
The rage quitting thing.
I know, but I made beef bacon.
That's rage quitting is my superpower. Yes.
Yes. Mine's a death stare.
You are the death stare. I am the rage quitter. And hotel getter.
The hotel getter.
I'm the face beater.
Ow! Yeah,
Ow!
we need like our names. Like
Right.
This is
rage
face
quitter,
beater 1-2 to
hotel
rage
getter.
quitter 1-3. Come in
Hotel
1-3.
getter. Rage quitter, hotel getter.
Right.
It's all one thing.
I'm a face murderer.
That sounds like the final boss in like some bad video game. Oh my
I'm
gosh,
just
did
saying.
you have to fight Rage Quitter Hotel Getter?
I was just saying, I don't just rage quit. I have a nice place to go.
And I murder
Badger.
people with my face.
Good for
Caitlin
you.
Dryer
Yeah.
just gave to
Death stare.
Who?
Scriptures. Kaylin Dreyer just gave us
Kaylin Dreyer?
Scripture donation.
Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, who needs scriptures? If you need scriptures, you can message us.
If you need scriptures, go to the contact form on bearindependent.com. go to the admin, not the dance monkeys, because they do intel, not scriptures. Go to admin, contact on bearindependent.com. Just put in scriptures. Please include your address, so that way we know where to send it. And just say, I need a copy of the scriptures. Here's my address. We do not need to know why you need a copy of the scriptures.
No.
Just say, hey, I need a copy of the scriptures.
Full
Please send
name
it here.
and address.
And we will get it out to you.
Yeah.
At no cost.
And for those that don't know, so when you go to the store, under the Scriptures Bible, there is a receive and a donate option. So those donate options that you guys purchase go to the people that email us that they need a copy that they cannot afford. So it is by you guys' generosity that we are able to do that program.
Yeah, 2,700 Bibles.
Somebody would like to know if Hami's hat will ever be in the store.
Hami's hat will not be in the store because it's not our hat.
I know. But where'd you get your hat, Hami?
Where'd you get your hat, Hami?
From him. And he got it from them.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, that is
Okay.
that is accurate. Yep.
No, hang on. And I got to show him my shirt.
Oh, uh-oh.
My shirt you got me.
Oh, I thought she was about to, like, flash. Sure.
No.
Oh, move.
Please.
Oh,
No.
What is going on over there?
I don't know.
We need like a road cone over
my
there.
feet stopped
Everybody who's
working.
walked through there is half busted their ass.
So all you men out there, take note.
That looks a little small.
It's
It won't stay on long.
That's what I was about to say. That's not a going out of the house shirt. That's a staying in the house shirt.
Those are like my sleeping shirts. Like those are super soft. They're super soft.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this shirt. And then what else did you give me? Oh yeah.
Next time you want to raise a goat, just remember, put that shirt on.
I'm savage.
Yeah. Yep, those come from Sean Whalen et al. At Lions Not Sheep. And I like their messaging. I like what they're about. I enjoy his podcast. So I particularly enjoyed the podcast that he did with Tim Ballard from Operation Underground Rescue. And so after that, I bought some apparel from them. And then I also reached out to Operation Underground Rescue and had a conversation with them about Caleb House being a certified OUR aftercare facility. And I'm in no way saying that we are affiliated with them, because we are not, at least at this time. But we are working in the direction of being able to be an Operation Underground Rescue aftercare facility at Caleb House. So, because the critical need, praise Yah, more and more kids are being rescued every day. The critical need is, where do they go next? There are no aftercare facilities. There are no rehabilitation facilities. There's no restoration facilities. And I say there are not enough. There's 420 beds in the United States of America to combat a $150 billion per year industry.
Right.
And so Caleb House, and bless y'all who have donated and who are continuing to donate, Caleb House is a facility to do just that, to rehabilitate and restore human trafficking survivors. So, yeah. What else we get?
We're very interested in beef bacon. What is the average cost of beef bacon? And where should they be looking for it? Call your butcher.
We get our beef bacon from our butcher. They order it in from a custom processor. So if your butcher can't make it, they can probably order it in from a custom processor. We pay anywhere between $5 and $9 a pound for beef bacon. It's delicious. It's essentially the plate. Think the flat of a brisket that's been brined and smoked and then cut thin for bacon. And in fact, if you can't get it from your butcher and they can't order it from a custom processor, you can get a brisket flat and you can literally Google how to make beef bacon and you can make your own beef bacon. We have not done it because we have a J. John's, but if we didn't have a J. John's, we would be doing it.
Jay Johns has a Patreon with his recipe on it.
Does he?
Yeah.
I did not know this. Okie Storm Chaser also has a Patreon. So if you've ever been on mission or wanted to be on mission and eat grilled mac and cheese sandwiches, oh my gosh.
Okay, half y'all didn't even know there was mac and cheese in the sandwich, but you thought it was like amazing.
It was
Jeffrey
phenomenal.
was like,
Where's the mac and cheese?
What was better, that or my French onion soup?
Don't put me on blast like that.
One's Okie food. One's
I want
food.
the grilled mac and cheese sandwich dipped in your French onion soup. Actually,
That's
actually, what
really
I want
good.
is rare roast beef sliced super thin, layered in between two mac and cheese sandwiches, slathered in the French onion soup. That's what I want.
Fork and knife.
I mean, fork and knife or these, just whatever. Like, it's all gonna get in the beard anyway, so who
Grilled
cares?
What? Okay, you have to explain the grilled mac and cheese. So it was like turkey pastrami.
It was turkey pastrami, mac and cheese, shredded cheese.
You know,
On
you know.
Texas, on like thick cut Texas bread. Then it was grilled,
That roast beef in it too.
and it had roast beef in it.
So it was roast beef, turkey
And-
pastrami, shredded cheese, mac and cheese on bread, buttered,
Grilled,
panini.
panini, yes, smushed. Oh my gosh. Okie, you're in charge of grilled cheeses for the next Bible study. Just saying. There was a lot of prep that went into them, but man, it was worth it. I literally, mine was 4 bites. The first one was like a little taster bite. I was like, that was good. And then 3 bites later, my sandwich was gone.
I just love how Dudley went in and was like, "Where's the mac and cheese?"
It's on your sandwich. That was awesome.
People are now in a food coma, or just.
I legitimately think that half the people that come to mission come to eat Okie's cooking.
I'm
They're
talking.
like-
Sukkot is like Jay John. Like we will
Yeah.
never like Sukkot cannot happen without Jay John's. I thought I was running the grill, and he comes up and is like, "Oh, I kind of run the grill," and I was like, "Okay," and I was like, "You're,
Hired. Got it.
I'm out. I'm gonna go take a nap."
We stay
Only
well fed
legitimately.
around here. If people come to mission, they're like, I brought a drill. Can I work too? Hey, when's lunch? Yeah. So.
Oh, this is a good question, and a lot of people want to do this, and I just don't get it. But
What's up?
how many clothes do you stockpile, and how many do you figure to like keep back?
How many clothes do I stockpile?
Clothes.
You know, I don't. How's that for an answer? I have more boots than I need by a lot. I think I have 6 or 7 different pairs of boots. I have lots of hoodies and sweatshirts, 2 different Carhartt jackets, lots of jeans and Carhartt work pants and BDU pants and blouses and long sleeve Dickies shirts that
Having a good set of what you love and having like a backup pair of boots, a backup jacket
Mhm.
is good. But I mean, I think as far as when the world ends, there's enough clothes to go around like
Yeah.
Right.
forever.
We also have Cody. So
Well, I mean, people
that
without
there's-
Cody.
yeah, not everybody has a Cody, but
Yeah.
we also have Cody.
But I'm just
Right.
saying, like, you think about like Goodwill and like all the there's so clothes.
Yeah.
You need food.
Clothing
You need
is like
food.
what most people
Shoes,
give
maybe.
away. And it's because it has no use
Nobody's
after
darning
you've
socks.
outgrown it. Like it has absolutely no use. So
Good
more
socks.
people are willing to give away clothing than probably any other item in your house. And so for that reason, and for the reason that we have close friends, there are kids of varying sizes and ages.
Yeah.
So as they grow, basically the smaller, younger kids are going to get those hand-me-downs.
Yep.
Backup broken in boots.
Right.
That's about your length.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, it's really like footwear, because footwear does wear out. I mean, clothing wears out, but you know, if a pair of jeans has a hole in it, you can still wear them.
And good clothing doesn't wear out near as fast.
Right.
I have Carhartt double front dungarees that I bought 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and I didn't just wear them to the office. Cut timber in them, built pole lines in them, climbed in them, done everything you can do in those pants. Still got them. They still work. They're good to go. So if you buy good high quality clothes,
they're gonna last.
That's a good answer. Skinned food turns into new clothes. I think about Max need a cobbler.
Yeah, mags do need a cobbler. That is a good point. I've been thinking about this. I'm going to chainsaw carve wooden shoes for everybody in our camp.
Oh, we get little clogs.
Little clogs. Everybody. Yeah.
We got a dance.
We're definitely going to coordinate this. I was thinking we could use the porch of the outhouse as our stage.
The porch of the outhouse has been a stage for a lot
Can we
of
make it like a?
It has.
We can make it a coat thing, and everyone.
Right, we all dance around
Everybody
in our wooden
gets-
clogs.
I'm not making that many clogs. That's a lot of clogs.
We need the later. I think the later Osen's got to go with that. I know it's not directly tied to it, but it just feels similar.
Are you saying like
BYOC.
Oktoberfest? We're gonna have Oktoberfest Day during
Sukkoth's in
Sukkot.
September this year.
And
So
that
like,
happens.
It's 2 events.
Bring your own clogs.
I'm just saying.
What else we got?
Yeah, but clogging problem. Make sure the bathroom doesn't get clogged.
No, we've seen that. We don't need any clogged anything.
No bathroom clogs. Unacceptable.
Well, I mean, with the thing with clothing is we don't right now. We all give away, throw away everything, but patches and mending and all that kind of stuff was a thing for a long time.
It's skill to know.
Hey, Mouse said, what do you think about the Kel-Tec SU-16 as an AR alternative truck gun? I think I don't have any direct experience with the Kel-Tec SU-16, like shot it a bunch, but I've seen them, I've held them. I think they're cool. I like the fact that they take AR mags. You got that, it folds up, like which Kel-Tec is good at doing. 16-inch barrel. Somebody said on Patreon parts availability. I think if you had some spare parts for it, you'd be good to go. But I know Nothing Fancy loves his, and it's lightweight. It's like 5.5 pounds. Now, this rifle here's like 7 pounds, and it's an AR, so it does all the AR things. But I don't have anything against the Kel-Tec SU-16. But again, I haven't personally put 1,000 rounds through the one. So. What else we got?
What do we got?
Christopher Scully said, super inspirational coffee talk this morning.
Earl's daughter says, I can't cook as well as Jay Johns or Okie. I don't make t-shirts. My guns are average, but I could rub my head and tummy at the same time. Does that count?
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, it counts.
Like,
Earl's daughter has many useful skills.
no.
She is good to go.
She is the best.
She is good to go.
She's good at tackling people.
She's good at tackling people. That's correct.
Them over their shoulder.
No.
I mean,
Tactical relocation. I like
tactical relocation.
I like to call it. Yep.
Tactical relocation.
She's good at tactical relocation.
I hear she's good at
She's excellent at building things. She completely reorganized and cleaned the porch one day without being asked at all.
She's good at putting you in your place.
She's really good at hugs too.
She's excellent at hugs. Agreed.
Yeah, excellent at hugs.
Excellent at hugs. Yep.
She's good with that nail gun too.
Oh, the nail gun?
Yeah.
From the other side through the window and stuff.
She's had lots of practice shooting people with nail guns. I think we just equipped Earl's daughter with 2 coiled roofing nailers, 1 SHTF. So those are essentially belt feds. Like an anti-aircraft gun. We could get 4 of them in a mount, big air compressor. Yeah, I liked it. I like this idea. I'm down.
Okay. Glad we have your stamp of approval.
Yes.
Can you answer this question?
What question? I don't know. You sighed.
Storms.
It's storms? I gotta think about it. I tried to, but my answer malfunctioned.
Desert Tech MDR Micron SBR kit. I don't even know what it means.
We talked about that.
What about it?
Should we talk about it now?
No, we shouldn't. We should not talk about the Desert Tech MDR 762 Micro SBR kit. None of those things are things we should talk about. Let's talk about guns that work.
The movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith was written about the boards.
Yes. Indeed.
Dun, 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 dun,
Somebody said, Storm just said, we've answered this stupid question from the Storm, so he shuts up. He said earlier, you need to call him out on this. Earlier, he said he had good news from today, but then he doesn't tell anybody what the good news is.
Well, then he will rejoice alone. Howdy, y'all.
Show the people beef bacon. So they believe
Show
it.
the people beef bacon.
Show the people the beef bacon.
Right there.
Are y'all gonna
Beef
come back?
bacon. See?
It's so cold, but there's heat up here.
Why the hell do we have 2 5-gallon things of ice cream? Or gallons of ice
For the
cream?
birthday we had the other
I'll
day.
take one home if you need me to.
Oh, we'll eat all ice. Hey,
Hey, y'all.
stand here, stand over here.
So this is beef bacon.
Beef bacon.
Looks just like regular bacon. Yeah, it's
You look good. I like that color.
Hey, would y'all throw this on top of the propane heater for me real quick?
You want to eat it now?
Let me put it in the pan first.
Yeah, it's commenting on the show. Like, we bought it all. I'm sorry. There is none.
Flame it on fire. Yeah, so grocery stores that carry the beef bacon that we get, Winco.
Okay,
And
Winco.
they're more than just in Oklahoma.
Okay, so Winco carries beef bacon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Woman, I gave you cash. And you didn't even have to take your clothes off for it.
She's
So
got a slot.
I got a slot right here. I don't know wallet.
Children, it's a PG-13 show.
It's after 9.
You're still on.
It's after 9. It's after 9 and they're married. So we can go to Winco more often, huh?
Yeah.
And there's more. It's like in the Oklahoma City area, there's more than one.
Awesome.
Ooh.
So when we only went to one of them.
Is it?
Let's
It's
see.
like the same beef bacon that we get from the beef bacon people.
It's the exact
Yes,
same
it's the
thing.
exact same. Thoughts on the Mossberg Shockwave along with my 9mm pistol as a truck gun?
Like Utah,
I think that's fun as long as you can shoot the shockwave, and also you're going to be limited on the distance of engagement with that. You got to be able to shoot it accurately because essentially you're turning that thing into an area weapon, which could be an issue if you got innocent bystanders. So if you think about like a point target with a slug, that's awesome as long as you can actually hit something with the shockwave with the slug. Again, I don't get wrapped around the axles on particulars. Can you run the platforms? If you can run the platforms, then yes. The thing about shotguns is their rounds limited, but they're absolutely devastating if you hit what you're aiming at. So
I actually bought all the stuff to do that. It's in the trunk now.
Chad Hockett, there you go.
Bacon sandwiches.
AR pistol and Glock 19 for the truck setup, quick, easy electric ear pro. One of the things that I started doing maybe a year ago is that I got some Howard lights that are clipped around the stock of my truck rifle so that I don't have to go searching for ear pro. I can throw those things on in half a second and go to work if I need to. So
Cord's not a good idea.
Oh, yeah. You didn't even notice.
I have no more freezer room.
That was our problem too. It's like we can't keep all. You said it right there.
I see you rejoicing over beef bacon. Yeah, I am getting 6 cases tomorrow.
We got a deep freeze the size of one of those.
Bad news, we got to eat the half a cow that's in the fridge to make room for the beef bacon.
At least we don't have to
Load
can-
No, what's wrong with you?
You can beef bacon, but it's not necessary.
We should have plenty of it canned.
I think we could dehydrate it.
I love this.
Oh,
We can freeze dry it.
Freeze dry it.
Oh, we could turn it. I wouldn't. You say
What?
Freeze-dried beef
I say
bacon?
jerky.
All right, we're getting off the rails here.
The fat
Tactical Homestead, what's up?
content,
He turned on the
Wouldn't
Japanese.
you-
We all gave up.
I did tell everyone that I got a
Last,
real
like,
job starting in 2 weeks. That's awesome.
25 years.
Because of
That was the good news. I didn't see it.
I didn't.
Good job.
Y'all, Storm's got a real job.
Yay.
Real job.
I know that he's been stressing about that for a long time.
No, real job today starts in 2 weeks.
Wait, doesn't he? Is he the one that said that he's also got like 3 other offers on the table? Yeah, that's awesome.
Mouse house.
promo code mouse, 15% off.
Promo code. Yeah, Mouse. We did it just for you, man. Promo code Mouse, 15% off tonight. So we need to get Storms a cake made entirely out of crayons to celebrate.
The crayons would be the candles.
There you. They good. Yeah, they work as candles.
Yeah.
Hey, Canuck is here. What's up,
No,
Canuck?
then he'll eat them. It's for him. It's like when we do like flaming shots. It's eating flaming. Yeah, it works.
Like put the candy bars on top of the cake.
T did that once. Got me a Kit Kat cake.
Kit Kat cake. I bought you all the.
All right, guys. What else we got?
I need to come up with a
Oh,
name for
refresh.
my screwball shop that I invented.
Screwball.
So it's just screwball and my spicy honey.
Oh, that would be good.
Mike
Lighthearted
Bridges.
are the
Screwball
ones
with
who
the
answered.
salted caramel baileys on top.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Russ also sent the shine.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you,
all about the
Shine.
sweet.
All right, thank you, Russ, for the shine.
Yeah.
That just sounds so good.
Jeff Bezos stepped down as CEO.
He's got like $300 billion. He's good to go.
I guess he probably decided it was the appropriate amount of obscenely rich.
Can we get a grindstone update? We're close enough for the land. What percentage? What's the next step? Okay, Travis, that's a good question.
I'm driving.
I don't want to
She was
talk.
driving, I'm like,
I don't want to talk too much about things that haven't come to fruition yet. So we'll just talk factually. We have about 50% of the money that we need for the land right now, a little bit more. We're shopping for land in an area that is strategic for several reasons, difficult to get to for all the appropriate reasons. We have an architect who loves us who is doing the drawings right now. We have somebody at a major American corporation that loves us that has given us an idea about how to develop a sustainability plan so that we are not dependent upon fundraising year over year to fund the daily operations of the program. We have somebody who's working with us in order to facilitate that sustainability plan. We have a grant writer who is looking for private grants, not state or federal grants, but private grants to help fund the construction of. Grants have been submitted, but nothing has been returned yet. Caleb House itself has applied for its own 501c3 with the federal government because it is significantly different than Grindstone's core mission, which is to be the hands and feet of Messiah. We predominantly do that through a construction ministry, which is Grindstone. So Grindstone's going to build Caleb House, and we're in talks with a couple of badasses to potentially facilitate the daily operation of Grindstone or of Caleb House after it's built, hopefully in fall 2021. Said badasses have an established record already in the rehabilitation of trafficking survivors. As I said, we're talking with Operation Underground Rescue to determine what is required for us to be a OUR approved aftercare facility. And the father is moving. So lots of good things happening. I'm not going to, I don't have any definites yet, but the way that things have been kind of falling into place up to now have clearly shown that his hand is involved in all of this. Shalom, y'all.
Tiago said, I wish I
could give more, but it's from the bottom of my heart. You
Oh,
are a
did you
good
see,
man, Bear. The world is in need of good men.
Bless you, Tiago. Thank you.
He's from
Really?
Brazil.
From
That's cool.
Brazil?
They,
Thank you,
brought that
Tiago.
here.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Did you hear this? He just said Sanctified's got a new hat that's got the Shema.
I saw that. That is
That's
cool.
Super cool.
Sanctified Supply Co. has a new hat that has the Shema underneath it, under the brim of the hat, which is awesome.
A Shema for our...
And they also have the Iron Sharpens Iron shirt.
They do,
that
which is a
benefits
grindstone
Grindstone.
promo.
I did a terrible wood burning of one. It's on my
Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh is our God, Yahweh is one.
It's kind of like a plate, like same idea. Yeah.
What I
Deuteronomy.
really want is to like get like neckmaster bearing.
Oh, I want one. Hey, man. Oh, and the Grindstone North t-shirts. Yes, also sanctified. Chris Haynes, bless you.
That'd be a great idea. Because I don't
Can you
know.
see the Crazy Connects get this for his fundraiser for Janessa, Jaden, and Jalen?
Or even like a long, like,
Yes,
like
I will do
door
that.
frame, like
Chris, bless you.
Yeah.
pretty probably do it, vinyl. Like, she got a crew cut. Like all the.
Oh, nice.
What else we got? I got about half a cigar left, and then we done.
Half a cigar time.
Good day. Shalom, y'all.
Hope
Shalom.
you guys are-
Shalom.
Thank you for the beef bacon delivery.
Yeah.
Get home safe.
Sure.
Have fun.
What's going on with weather, whether or not I'm able to do the sandwiches.
Yeah.
That is kind of weird.
Fight strategically over the money.
Well, we could
I'm
do
trying
it.
to remember what I had planned.
Good
Kind
plans.
of like theme it,
I like your
but
sweater, by the way.
He's thinking
You're
about
welcome.
making the sandwiches for us on the red.
We will do whatever we have to do.
We could do it.
We will put the grill in Dixon's
That's
tent
what
if
he was
we
saying.
have to.
What did we ever?
I will wall this whole porch off.
We're at-
Whatever. I'll blow a hole through the side of the house so the heaters in there heat up. We'll make this
It's
happen.
supposed to be at the other place.
I'll set the porch on fire. Whatever.
Well, we need the porch for porch purposes. But
Okay. We'll put the grill in the bucket of the skid steer, and I'll bring it anywhere you want.
all right.
All right. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom.
Get home safe. Yes, babe.
What are your What are your dreams of Bearistan if you had unlimited dollars to build whatever you could think of?
Oh boy, we have had this conversation. Oh,
I have answered this question on Patreon, but
We have.
But I'll go ahead and answer it again a little bit. Bearistan, established 2021. Thank you, Mega Millions and Powerball. So the first thing that I would do is I would buy an enormous piece of land, thousands of acres, enormous piece of land. The next thing that I would do is, and here would be my strategy, 200 people-ish on property, right? We'll talk about how that pans out in a moment. But with 200 people, you can petition the state for a township. Once you have a township, you can have a police department, you can have a fire department, you can have EMS, school, all those things, right? We would have a small volunteer government that would be endowed by the founder of Bearistan with, I don't know, 100 million, couple $100 million. Let's just say it's $100 million, okay? 100 million endowment. The funding of the government and public works in Bearistan comes from the interest earned on that $100 million. Let's say we're earning at 2%. Okay, that's $2 million. If you can't run this damn place on $2 million a year, you've done it wrong. You will never touch the principal, never touch the principal. And if the budget for the year, and there will be a budget, exceeds $2 million, either we will cut things from the budget or we will fundraise privately. We'll never borrow money. We'll never touch the principal. We're not issuing bonds. We're not doing any stupid garbage like that. Now, in Bearistan Town Center, we'll have a town center. It'll actually be a town square. with perhaps a nice little pavilion in the center of it. And in the town square, we'll have things like the coffee shop and the donut shop and the pizzeria and the, you know,
Movie theater.
the movie
Bowling
theater.
alley.
Yeah, the Dixon Cinemas and the bowling alley and the whatever, like all the things. And
Club, rave.
shops above the shops. Oh yeah, Dixon's Rave House will be above the shops. No, but above the shops we'll have apartments because some people want to live in community, but living out here scares them. Okay, cool.
Space coffee shop.
Space, yeah, for sure. Space coffee shop. I'll be all over this. But if you give me any more of that blueberry crap, we're gonna have a talk.
He's just up there hand grinding these.
The problem with the space coffee shop is that if you rob it, he's only gonna get one shot off, and then you can
And
take
only
everything
get,
he's
3
got.
cups a day.
You gotta call in your coffee 40 minutes early. Storms, we love you. It's just, it's too easy. It's too easy. Okay, so town square with a pavilion in the center of the town square for, you know, Friday nights on the square, Erev Shabbat, or Thursday farmers markets or whatever.
Art gallery.
Art gallery for sure. The little shops, the restaurants, the whatever. And then have your apartments above there. Nice apartments, but apartments above the shops. And then out from there, you have your public works. Yeah, AVT's therapy office for sure. Outside of there, you have your public works, your governmental buildings, your laydown yard, your PD, your fire department, your EMS, so forth, so on. And then neighborhoods, good sized lots, you know, acre-ish lots, neighborhoods. Because some people want to live in community, they want to do the things, but their commitment is on the acre level, not the thousands of acres level. That's fine. Have a couple of suburbs outside of there. And then outside of there, homesteads. 10 to 50 acre tracts of land or whatever. These are homesteaders. And ideally, we're voluntarily coordinating that, hey, you raise goats, I'll raise sheep. You raise guinea hens, I'll raise chickens. You grow an orchard, I'll be over here. I'm going to do a managed timber stand for firewood.
Planning.
What?
I call civil planning.
Civil planning, you got it. That's all you. That's fine. And then large agricultural swaths as well. Think of essentially not even a land lease, but perhaps a land lease for cattle, for hay, for row crops and agriculture. I'd like to have a large community greenhouse and community supported agriculture, because some people are going to want fresh bell peppers, but don't necessarily want to go through all the effort to plant and raise bell peppers. So they put in a couple hours a week at the community garden and they get their bell peppers in the basket that week, so forth and so on. All voluntary involvement and no communism, no communes, just fully capitalistic, but understanding that we all love each other and are dependent upon each other to make the community work. There will be a place of worship somewhere in there. There'll probably be I don't know if there'd even be a bank. Maybe there'd be a bank, maybe there wouldn't. I'd have to think about that. I would also have...
We have jars.
Jars, yeah, we'll have mason jars. It's good enough.
Because everybody's calling Torah, so you touch somebody's mason jar, rock pile.
That's right. There'll be a rock pile at the gate. That'd be funny.
Somebody's just like, is bear stand a thing?
It will be if I ever hit the
here.
Powerball. The bank would just literally be like, oh, I want a dry goods store as well and a hardware store for sure.
Credits.
Tack and feed. No, but think about it. The bank is just a shelf full of mason jars.
Right.
With everybody's
Yeah,
So you don't spend all your money, like you just can go
Right.
get your mason jar.
Be like,
They got some good ideas on here. We've got J. John's food truck and a margarita truck that goes by everybody's house every day.
hell yeah.
Okie truck, like a J. John's truck, like
Yep.
an Okie truck, and
Yep.
a Hami margarita truck. Like this.
Tobacco shop.
Y'all gonna get
Tobacco,
wasted.
cigar bar
I'm
for
running the
sure.
margarita
Don't ask
truck.
Hami for a margarita. Tony, they got some amazing ideas on
And
here.
then outside on the outskirts of the area,
The margarita backpacks.
we're gonna have We're going to have utility scale wind turbines and perhaps even solar to provide electricity for the property as well for the whole community. But then also we're going to net meter those back into the grid at utility scale. And the proceeds from that project will go back into the principal for Beristan.
It's a gun shop. I'm like, that's called the Armory.
Of course, gun
That's called
shop.
the
Of
Armory.
course, there'll be an FFO. Are you kidding me? And then
Bank is just is for bartering.
and then we'll have 3-4 deep wells, very deep wells for water as well. Depending on what we have and how we do it, we may require a water treatment plant, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Drainage, obviously. That's the plan. That's the global plan for Beristan.
They said, how did they get there? They win the lottery.
Yeah, the step one, we hit the Powerball. I'm also legitimately, I've thought this out clearly. Legitimately, I would buy a Caterpillar dealership because we're going to need lots of heavy equipment, and I'd rather have the dealership and get all of it at cost than buy a bunch of it for retail. Have a Caterpillar dealership.
I think that was like number 1 on the list.
Yeah, and then probably buy. I don't know if it would be a Ford dealership or something, because we're going to need a bunch of 1-ton, 2-ton trucks, vocational trucks. There'll be a batch plant because we're going to have lots of concrete to pour. Of course, there's going to be a lumber yard because we're going to need lots of lumber. There'll be a sawmill. We'll need these things. And I'd very much so like to also have cottage industry. Like, we need a way to grind grains. And ideally that's powered with electricity as well as a water wheel or something sustainable like that. Pottery barn, a blacksmith, aquaculture again at the community garden and the greenhouse. So yeah, think about militant Amish with cell phones and pickup trucks. That's what I'm talking about.
Farringen 1 would like whiskey with the cigar pack in the store, please.
I wish, I really wish we could do something like that. Like, Badger, I need tumblers.
I gotta pee again. Stop for the people.
Yeah, there's a lot of hoops.
Oh, Earl's
jump
daughter
through.
wants to run a library and fill it with all the band books. So I have a
Oh,
list.
nice.
I actually have a list
Yeah,
of
we
band books.
definitely need a good library.
Oh, can you fit? There you go.
Badger,
got it.
decanter, and he just said what it was, decanter and shot glasses. Okay, we have got to get those in the store. They are like the
I
coolest thing
know.
ever.
I need pictures from
Pictures.
Badger. I need pictures.
They are the
And
coolest
we will
thing
add
ever.
tumblers and
Stuff. All the
wine stimmy things.
and
with the Mr. and Mrs.
shot
Bear.
Glasses. The shot glasses are awesome.
Yeah, and the shot glasses are awesome.
Can I go ahead and make a coffee order with Storm
Takes that
for
long.
next men's group?
He said, "Can he put in his order?" Savvy, you missed it all. You missed Beristan. Savvy wants to know what he missed. He missed Beristan.
I don't know.
$1 million each, get 200 people. You don't have to wait. Can I work for somebody?
Find me 200 millionaires.
Yeah, 200
do it.
millionaires. Let's do it.
Tumblers or rocks glasses? I don't know. Aren't they the same thing?
No. The tumblers are like the tall, like that.
Oh,
Or like this, but
yeah,
rocks glasses.
the rocks.
The rocks
the
glasses
shorties.
and the shot glasses.
You know, the ones you sent me
Glass.
pictures
The
of. But
glass.
I thought with the wine ones, there was a size difference
Storm
or
is
something.
looking off ABT now.
If I can use
The
those
whole thing.
pictures, I'll use those pictures and I'll post them in
ABT
the
said
store
he needed to order
right
his
now.
coffee now. For
So.
next all the things, Badger. All the things. Of course, ABT says respectfully, I deserve.
I brought
that.
up chat while you were gone. You don't have to look at it.
Somebody's been trying to get in touch with Elon for a while now to invite him, but he's not answering.
I think Elon and I could get along. I mean, if he'd like to live in Beristan, we could probably figure that out.
Yeah, if Elon would go Torah,
We're gonna-
you'd totally have it.
I feel like we could logically sit him down and just like, look, you need to do this. You're already doing most of it.
Right.
We're also going to need an airport.
And a hospital. Somebody asked
Of
about a
course,
hospital.
of course.
Yeah.
We'd have to have a care facility. Of course. Tesla trucks. I don't know, maybe.
Birth center. Yeah, all the babies.
All the back porches in Bearstan will have heaters. That is correct.
Yes.
Well,
It's awesome right now.
phase 3, we build a dome over the top of it.
Right. What was that movie? Biodome.
But no, the other one.
Oh, the Stephen
Simpsons?
King?
No, the
No.
one with the guy in the video.
I don't know.
The dome, but like he was as a child. They brought him up.
Bubble Boy?
Oh, the Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Yeah.
Yes. That was way better than the Biodome. That was stupid.
Yeah. Truman Show. We got that.
Yep.
Yes, our own cigar store. Yes, absolutely.
course.
Trevor. This is cool.
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
Now
that's
they always
Bose.
give me Truman
Wrong
Show.
that's
dad.
Bose.
This is cool. Oh. I never know the right word. I know the idea. I write a paper on it.
Broadcast our own TV with movies going 24/7. Let's go.
Love
Of course,
movies.
schools.
Like
Of course,
the
there's
same
schools.
movies.
Oh, stop
The
it.
firmament
Just what?
is playing the lottery Torah. Well, I don't necessarily think, again, is it a vice? Are you sinning? Are you going without because you're buying lottery tickets? Or you putting your hope in man? I play the lottery occasionally. Like when I see the Powerball and the Mega like that high, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna throw a little bit of money at this. But I don't play it regularly, or some might call it religiously. And my hopes are not hinging upon winning the lottery.
Right. He's still doing
We're
the thing.
building it, just
Right.
really tiny at a time.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
It's like slow motion.
Yeah.
Slow motion without the lottery. High speed with the lottery.
Yeah. Money
It's
just
very-
accelerates.
it's very much so like when I went to the Small Business Administration for a business loan with my timber company. I said, look, I'm going to do this with or without you. If I do it with you, I'll do it faster and you'll make some money on the deal. If I don't, I'm still going to do it. And I was told by the guy at the place, this is the best business plan I've ever seen. We'd love to give you the loan, but he looks over both of his shoulders and he goes, if you were anything other than a white male, I could approve this loan today. Copy that. Thank you so much. Guess what? I did it anyway. No, I told you my Small Business Administration plan. I've got, especially under Bravo India Delta Echo November, I'm going to go into the SBA and say, I want a small business loan for $50 million. And they're going to say, okay. I'm going to say, and I'm a black female. And they're going to do one of two things. They're going to give me a loan for $50 million, or they're going to say I'm not a black female. And if they say I'm not a black female, I'm going to sue them for $500 million for assuming my gender. And either I win that, or now we have the SBA, a branch of the government, on the record saying that, nope, sorry, sir, you are not a black female. So
Would you ever run for local mayor?
yes.
So we're gonna put out on Reddit. Everybody, go do this to your bank.
ABT, I'm on hormone replacement therapy, okay?
With that
What?
weird assume you're just-
Lakeisha Bear?
What? Or whatever. I could tell them I'm an Indian furry, or whatever. I'm a Icelandic cat man, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just let's get on the record.
Lakeisha.
I think it's a great plan.
What are your thoughts on
Definitely plan
Earthbag
A.
home shelters? Any
About what?
experience? Earthbag? You
No.
need to talk to
Storms.
Storms.
Yes.
You and Storms strike up a
I
conversation.
think it's like Earth something.
Anything. Earth
Earth.
slash, yeah,
Earth slash
whatever. That's Storms.
Barracuda. Now I got that damn song in my head. I can show you the world.
So many people do.
Flower windmills.
The mouse says, I'm not a big guy. I'll sacrifice my beer to do it.
Oh, goodness. All right, what else we got? Good
Good
night, Hunter Kirk.
How do you make the jump from earth bags to space guns? You are storms.
I don't even know what an earth bag
You
is,
drink
other than a
ground-
bag of
fresh
earth.
ground coffee. That's how you jump from earth bags.
Have you ever thought of doing Bear Nation Grindstone Challenge coins to help raise funds?
Who asked that?
JM Blackwater
Was that Barrington
226R.
what?
You can get grindstone dog tags at bluemarklasering.com. Would you raise horses as long as they were working animals or therapeutic animals? Yes. Me personally, yes. In Baristan, no. Well, me personally, no. I don't have much love for horses, but I could think of a couple scenarios where they'd be useful. In Baristan, sure. If somebody else wants to feed those freaking picky things every day, go for it. That's fine. I don't want to be involved at all.
Girls like to ride horses.
The girls like to ride horses. You know why they like to ride them? Because they don't have to feed them every day and clean their stalls every day and brush them every day and water them every day. They're a lot less fun when you got to take care of them. So
It's true for a lot of animals.
yeah, I'm not a. I do think that Texas did the right thing when they reclassified horses not as an agricultural exemption, but as a luxury item, because they are. Unless, and in the state of Texas, if you can prove, no, I use my horse to plow fields and skid logs, okay.
Or to like work your cow, like.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're actually riding your fence on your ranch, that's fine. You can appeal the exemption, or the reclassification rather. But they are absolutely luxury items.
Have you ever been in fellowship with Straightway Ministries?
Nope.
So that's a good question. I think you have a video on this. Diabetic, insulin-dependent diabetic, and shouldn't spin. Do you have a video on that?
I
know
do.
You talked about it. Like,
Yeah,
I wasn't
it's
sure
a
it was a whole
Patreon.
video. It's a Patreon.
Jason Larimore said your bear pack is awesome.
Jason Larimore said my bear fac is awesome. Bless you, Jason Larimore. Thank you so much.
We kind of like it.
Would be perfect for backcountry use, the bear fac. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Can we get involved to help build Caleb House? Yes, you can go to grindstoneministries.com and sign up for the newsletter. And when it comes time to put boots on the ground, we will send out a newsletter to people explaining when we're deploying, how we're deploying, why we're deploying. All the details will go out in that newsletter, and you can sign up from there.
Yeah, we're just not there yet. We're
not there yet. We got to buy the land first. Yeah.
That is like, I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm a construction worker, and I'm like, I'm not good. Can a horse apply a tourniquet? No.
Michael Hill, how do we stop HR 127? We will be talking about it on tomorrow's live stream. I will say this though, the demon rats is old, man. They're Democrats, and I got news for you. The Republicans suck shit too. Okay, so call a spade a spade. They're Democrats. Yes, demon rats is an interesting play on words, but it's like knock knock, who's there? Banana. Who's there? Banana. Who's there? Banana. Aren't you glad I didn't say banana? Like, I've heard that one already. So, all right, what else we got?
Somebody said a horse could apply a tourniquet if they went to stop the bleeding.
Oh, snap. And had thumbs, but that's neither here nor there.
When is it? March 7th and 8th in Nashville,
Oh, I know.
Yes.
I believe. It's just north of Nashville. It's like Kentucky, Tennessee border area.
South side.
South side.
South side.
South side
really weird
Tennessee.
because it's not
On the
in
north side
North
of
side of
Tennessee.
It's on the south side of the border
It is.
from Kentucky.
Right.
but it's not in the south.
We didn't name it. It's not our problem. These are not our monkeys.
Fix it.
This is not our circus.
It's amazing how Not Your Circus applies.
It applies to
so many
everything.
things
It keeps
beyond
people
the
on
dog.
task.
You know, usually,
Focus.
no, usually the words are, it's going to be okay, Renee.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
But no, Not Your Circus is a fairy term. It's one of the terms I use to help train our dog as to what he should not be paying attention to. Like,
You need to explain what fairy
She
is, though.
uses it on me too.
It works,
I
doesn't
use
it?
it on everybody.
We just used it right now.
Like, yeah, you hear it and you're like, oh, yeah, it's not
And I'm
my
like,
circus.
but. Oh.
But Fairy is a Facebook and they have a Patreon page.
Do they?
They do.
Like, get on their Patreon page right now. Because they've just done such a damn good job.
But they
I have been working. since
have
then.
a dog training policy specifically geared towards livestock guardian dogs, but it can be applied to all dog breeds, and it's like no other in the LGD community.
Lesbian gay dog.
No,
No,
No?
not
That's not what that
lesbian gay
stands for?
dog.
Oh, my
No.
bad.
But they're a great group of no BS people, and they throw buckets at you occasionally, and you just have to accept your buckets and move on and keep
What?
going.
What does that even mean? They throw buckets at you.
It means like when you F up, like
How do you spell fairy?
FAERIE, maybe FARIE.
Farie?
I'll have to look it up.
You're going to have to look at Well, you're telling everybody right now.
I don't. Shoot.
Missile Mountain said bless you too with the super chat.
Wait, where's the groups?
Missile Mountain? Bless you, Missile
FAREI.
Mountain.
FAREI. Fairy Kennels.
Hey.
LGD training.
you should tell everybody mouse
Mouse.
and how quickly they can get one of our things.
Oh, 1 to 2 weeks on the Verifax or any kit. We are still having some supply chain issues with adventure kit bags and Mac 4 bags
It used to
and
be our
combat
favorite.
lifesavers.
Those used to be
But
our
I've
favorite.
made the option available that you can at least get the guts of those kits and put them in your own bags for the time being until we figure out.
We're working on a new bag.
Yeah. And I've been able to get some, so they may end up coming back in stock short term temporarily.
Yeah, Fax and Mins are
But yeah, Fax, Mins, Cubs, Stomps, Crash Kits, Smash Kits, Mac 8s, all of those we're shipping out
Yeah.
within.
Yeah.
Adventure
1 to
Kits
2
is one of those
weeks
things
now.
that's just you can get all the stuff for the Adventure Kit. You just need to get your own bag.
Yeah,
Or-
you need to find your own messenger style bag or backpack, whatever you want to put it in.
And tonight's still works on the stickers too. 'Cause we still have-
Yeah, on Bear Independent,
I'm
Mouse,
Ninja
15% off, works on all the swag, all the components,
Onion Ninja.
Onion Ninja stickers, Shut Up Willard stickers.
They don't know about Shut Up Willard stickers. Do we have one?
I don't think we
Like it
have
hasn't
one.
really been announced on
No.
the
But they
public-
can go look. Y'all can go look
the
and
public
find
people.
Shut Up Willard. We have a new sticker the month of February. Go find it and buy it and get your 15% off.
Imagine what the story is behind Shut Up Willard if you don't know.
Yeah,
You'll be close.
you'll be pretty close. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like along this line. Lions, not
sheep. Willard is a
Sheep.
sheep.
Sheep. Sanctified says, I drew it.
She did drew
She
it.
did drew it.
She done drew it.
She done drew it all. She done drew the Stumps logo too.
Yeah, she did the Stumps logo. If you need a logo, Lucia is awesome.
I made that.
What are you doing over there?
I don't
In
know.
your Patreon land.
I don't know.
He got his head down.
I know.
I'm gray manning.
He's totally.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
But yeah, I know we've gotten a lot of requests as far as who or what we use to help train Sam. And so Ferry is that answer. And if you don't have an LGD yet, but you are in need of one, they also have a breeder's list. Because your dog is only as good as its breeder. And there have been several breed traits that we've had to overcome and outwork with Sam. So
Sam's such a good dog.
he is a good dog.
He didn't start that way though.
No,
I only met him after he was like a really good dog.
Right,
Yeah, I don't even
but
like
it's-
dogs, and I love Sam.
He was an okay dog when we got
Right.
him. But
we
he
had
already
him for
had
what, a year,
Yeah.
3 months or something.
Yep, but he already had some bad habits when we got him, and Harmony really has done a great job
Oh, yeah.
with that fairy
She
training.
don't mess around with Sam.
Well, I didn't want a repeat of Nellie. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't want us to have another dog that ended up
In the
turning on our
compost pile.
animals and we had to dispose of it because that was heartbreaking. Like, it sucked. So,
Yeah.
And Nellie was a good dog, like,
But she went bad,
but she went bad. So,
and we weren't as involved with her as we should have been at critical points
right.
in her training, and she packed up and went semi-feral and killed our livestock, and it was her job to protect them, and once they do, they're done. That's a sad fact of dogs. Once they do, they're done. Now we have people
For the most part. I mean,
Yeah.
There's some exceptions.
Yeah, but Sam
in
is-
my mind, once they do, they're done. Maybe they can recover from it, but it's hard to recover from it when I put you down.
When losing a chicken is much different than losing a sheep.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Let's go to a pet cemetery.
No, but I mean, that's
Is
the
it going to
thing.
be a pet cemetery in Bear Stand?
That's the thing about Sam is that she doesn't let him
No, it doesn't
have
let him
a
get away with
inch.
it.
Like, if he goes over the line 1 inch, she is like, oh, like, you're done. And he knows it. Like, that's the thing. He knows if he even, like, comes near her.
I can look at him. I mean, I can give him the death stare and
Yeah.
he knows. But, you know,
Robust compost pile.
Right.
Right. Somebody said that your video today got taken down.
Which one?
I don't know. Somebody just said that. What happened to the video today? Got taken down? Like your coffee time or your
All I did today was
Coffee time?
coffee time. If they were looking for a YouTube video today, there wasn't one.
yeah. Yeah, no, this morning was just coffee time, so it wasn't
That's just a Patreon.
sitting in the truck. It was like a truck talk, coffee time, hanging out the office, watching the microwaves go by.
Unless Monica
I thoroughly
posted
enjoyed
one
that
up.
microwave today.
It was hilarious. We're like watching it. I was like, oh, I guess I gotta buy a microwave. They're gonna take the fridge too. I'm gonna have to buy a fridge. Then I have to be on for like 30 seconds.
Oh, we're getting a
Truck.
dolly and a.
No, you're good.
Get a dolly and
Yeah.
a strap so you can take your fridge.
You're fine.
My food in it.
Coffee time with Bears there from this morning.
Yeah. So Tony, it's on Patreon.
Tony, it's on Patreon. Tuesday, Thursday live streams are exclusive Patreon,
Yeah.
and
Thank
they're
you,
a
son.
totally different vibe than the report too.
It's worth every penny.
I appreciate that. It's worth every penny. Thank you.
I still pay my on Patreon.
You do, thank you.
I mean, $1 a month.
I think I
Like,
pay like $20 because I want my mug.
Do you really?
I don't even know what that equates to, like, cent wise per
3
day.
cents a day.
3 cents a day.
Bo pays $5 to get in the drawings.
Never win.
Yeah, we do have a new
We found out so
Patreon
long ago we never
loot
tasted
box coming out.
Oh, we do?
it. Do we?
Yeah.
It's not like
Please
the last
don't make
one
it
is.
gigantic.
Can it be like light?
Yeah, is the last one, or is she on?
I'll pay the shipping. Don't worry about it.
Go.
It's 12 stomp
It's a
bags.
plate carrier.
Better not be. Who needs 12 stomp
We
bags?
sent
Come
out
on.
12 boxes last time.
I know.
Now, we could give somebody one of every kit.
That's insane.
Oh
is
my gosh,
insane.
one of every kit. That's
That
so
is
cool.
insane.
That is really cool
You're
though.
going to bankrupt me, woman.
A stomp bag, a Mac 8.
Hold on, I'm
Mac
doing math in
4,
my
an
head.
adventure, a-
Don't throw the max in there. Those are for public safety.
Okay, I'm sorry. So no public safety. So a stomp, an adventure, a fac, a minimum,
A Cub,
a
a Cub
Cub.
Pro.
Well, no, it's just a Cub Pro because once
Okay.
you have a Cub Pro and a mommy kit.
And a mommy kit. Oh, don't tease the
You
mommy kit.
forgot
It's
about
not
the
product
pack.
yet.
No, the pack's a public access.
Yeah, but I want to talk about the pack because we don't really sell a lot of the packs,
They're so cool.
but they are so cool. So the pack, it's labeled as the public access
Kit.
casualty kit. But it's really like a twofer bear fac. And you end up saving like $40 off of buying like 2 bear facs. And but we've had a lot of requests for like couples kits.
It's less than that because if it's you save more than that because if you don't get the acrylic case to hang it on the
Right.
wall,
right,
it's
then, yeah,
$300.
it's $100
Yeah, if you
less.
don't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 140 less.
And so we have a lot of people that have requested basically a couples kit, 2 bear facs in one, and
There's car
the
kit.
pack.
Great for a car. Great for like the.
Yeah, it's great for the
Headrest.
car. It comes in the Condor EMT,
Yeah.
the regular EMT rip away, and so yeah, like you can get significant savings, especially tonight.
Significant savings.
Oh, yeah, you
the
could.
savings and the 15%.
If you take
And-
15% off of that, it's $255.
So $30 more than a bear fac would cost you, and you get double.
Jeez, you're gonna bankrupt me, woman. So
I just know how to work the system.
well,
I happen to
So
work
it's
for
a-
the system
So
as
it's
well.
a Tupac.
Right.
it's a Tupac.
It's a Tupac.
We're not calling it the Tupac.
It's a Tupac.
Tupac.
It has
You can
okay.
get
Tupac. Fac.
So
Tupac.
hold on,
You get the Tupac or you get the Biggie.
She snorted.
y'all shut up a minute.
She snorted.
Okay.
It has the public access casualty kit, has the Namali EMT bag. It's got 2 Gen 7 cats, 2 high-fin 2 packs of chest seals, 2 SWAT tees, 2 6-inch emergency trauma dressings, 2 pairs of gloves, 2 hypothermia blankets, mini duct tape, a pair of shears, and 2 quick clot rolled gauze in it, which right now with the promo code mouse would be $255 before shipping. So yeah, it's $35 more than a bear fac,
We're not sure we cover the cost, but
and Refuge Medical will be bankrupt tomorrow.
somebody said she's working her own system.
Hey, I have y'all as the best interest. Like, we care about y'all.
We do care about them.
Yeah, we
Well, I don't
want
want
to
you
make
to
sure
bleed to
realize
death.
how
kits are in
People
the
don't realize
hands of
how little
people.
of a markup there is.
But yeah,
Well, that's why our kits are affordable. This kit is the exact same kit that High Threat Innovations, aka Trauma Pack, produces. The exact same kit for $100 less. I was like, you know what? Those kits need to be in the hands of good people, and their markup is too high. We're going to just take $100 right off the top of it. So that's what we did.
When they have like 4-inch ETDs and ours are 6-inch,
Right.
and like there's noticeable differences.
And they okay, so components wise, it's the exact same layout of components. We use all North American Rescue stuff. So, but yeah, the quick clot rolled gauze as well. I mean, that's not some like throwaway, like the guy at the gun show that we went to on Sunday, it was like, hey, you need to buy an IFAK? And I was like, no. And he goes, oh, these are military grade. I said, oh, yeah, let me see it.
Oh.
And so he hands me the pouch, and I unzip it. And I was like, is this your tourniquet? And he goes, yeah, military grade. I said, son, you are full of shit. He goes, what do you mean? I said, no, it's not. I said, this right here is military grade. And he just gave me a look. I said, look, man, don't even try. I do this for a living. Your tourniquet is not Council on TCCC approved. It's not 1.5 inches wide. It was like a soft T wide knockoff that was only 3/4 of an inch wide. It had a pressure bandage, but it was about that big. And then it had a roll of Curlix and a pair of shears that you could have maybe cut Play-Doh with, and a couple of gauze pads. That's it. And he goes, well, how much do your kits cost? I said, who cares how much my kits cost? They actually save lives, asshole. I didn't say asshole, but I thought it. Just, gosh, there's so many.
There's a lot of chintzy shit out there.
He goes, well, the cost on mine, before retail is only $40. I said, this tourniquet cost $30. This tourniquet costs $30. It's not about, I saved a couple dollars. And I want the Bear Nation to save as much money as they can, which is why we looked at the High Threat Innovations kit and was like, let's do that kit better for $100 less. That's what we did. But you can't get a good IFAK for $40. You can't get a real tourniquet for less than $28. Yeah, it's like, oh, here's a couple Band-Aids.
Right.
It's like, sir, he's got a gunshot wound. What do we do? Stuff Band-Aids in it? I mean, what else is there? Yeah. So, anyway. All right. A few more minutes. What do we got? It's Chile.
I know. I'm freezing my tushy.
Yeah, so it's about saving lives, not about the money.
Right.
That's the thing. If we could sell it cheaper and still save lives, we would.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the point. Like, you can't.
The thing that I tell people in our Stop the Bleed classes and our TCCC classes is if you take a cheap tourniquet and you put it on somebody you love and it breaks and they bleed out, how much are you going to care that you saved $10 on that tourniquet? My wife is priceless. Priceless. The reason I made this is because I could not find a kit that was good enough for me to carry every day, to put on my plate carrier, my chest rig, my war belt, to be able to actually save a life with. Yes, you can make your own. That's precisely what I did. I made my own. And I made it apparently well enough that thousands of other people have decided they'd like to have one too. And I've had lots of help along the way iterating this thing from people that know their stuff to make it better and better and better. It's been a collaborative effort, make no mistake of that. But it's not about getting the cheapest product possible out there, because when the person you love is bleeding to death and you try and save them and they bleed to death because you saved a couple bucks, what's the point? It blows my mind. Now, I understand that times are tough. I totally get it. That's why we do the promo codes. You guys, I don't have more than about 20% headroom in the pricing anyway. So when we get That's not a lie.
We don't get paid.
Sometimes not even. Like,
So when we do 15% off,
it kind of cuts it close.
yeah, it cuts it close. But you know, it helps us keep the lights on at the office, and it gets good kits into the hands of good people. That's why we do promo code Bear Nation every day for 10% off. We want the kits out there. The mission statement is not make a boatload of money.
Right.
The mission statement is to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experiencing the abundance of his provision and blessing. And abundance of provision and blessing does not equate to dump truck loads of money. It equates to being able to live a life that's honorific of the Father and spend that with people that we love, doing things that matter. So,
and doing a job that matters.
yeah, there's
Like,
people still alive because we do what we do.
right.
That's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So
Remember
Yeah,
when
you
you made
order
that
a
stop
kit
bags for yourself and
and-
then talked about it online and people were like,
I'm still blown
I
away.
want-
DR packs it, Faux packs it or ships it, and I ship. And then I make sure all the inventory is squared away so that we can pack and ship kits. But it's us. Like, it's not some no name, some, you know.
We don't have a warehouse somewhere filled with nameless, faceless employees.
No.
It's us.
It's
like,
us.
when you send an email,
Right.
a
Occasionally,
question on
Bear pops
something.
in the office and he'll sign a couple of packing slips.
forget to send you your quick lot. My bad.
Right. Yeah. Forget to
We fixed that.
add the add-on.
We fixed that. I apologize.
but yeah, when you email us, you get Renee, Tommy, Monica. You get
Right.
like
Yeah.
we're a small
You email
business.
us and it's us three ladies that are going to respond to you, either myself, Renee, or Monica.
Kind of doesn't matter what email you send it to.
No.
You're still gonna
No.
get one.
We all do all of the emails. So,
We're just going next door, just sit next to the person. Hey, what should I answer this email with?
yeah, we do that all the time.
And if you email all the emails, we know.
Yes. Yeah,
You
we
still get all
know
of
if
us.
you're persistent in your attempt to contact.
I got people for that.
Right.
What else we got?
Well, we sold a pack. Somebody listened to you.
Something
So
Did
that's
we?
listened and
good.
bought one right away.
They
Yeah.
listen to you.
Good job, Nathan.
Jeez. Did you order a damn tactical chicken sticker with it too?
No, he didn't. I don't have options on those. I mean, they could do it, but they'd have to.
Yeah.
It's not
Somebody
an
got
add-on.
blocked by my medic because they commented that
Good.
facts were better.
Good.
Is that Badger?
No, it's
Oh.
actually somebody else.
Because Badger straight up like
Badger
called
does
him
it.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'm
Badger's
totally.
a troll of my medic.
I'm totally on board with. I do the same thing every time one of their ads pops up on Instagram or something.
Yeah.
I'm
do
like,
too.
or you could get handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever, 13 lives saved, 4 branches on 4 continents, guaranteed forever for less price with better components at bearindependent.com.
Yeah. So what absolutely bumfuzzles my mind is, we have an online presence. So we have tried to have a Facebook and Instagram store within those platforms, and we're constantly rejected.
Right there. See that? That's why.
We're rejected. No, well, I mean, according to Facebook, we're rejected on the premises that they do not allow those types of sales at all. Like, it goes against community standards for the marketplace. So my question is, if I can't sell on there, then why is my medic the first ad that pops up when I go on to check my Facebook? Like, the system is very...
Because the community standards are my medic bought up all those slots and they don't want any competition.
Absolutely.
And patriots that love their creator and
Right.
live an independent lifestyle are not the type of things that those platforms are interested in promoting.
But it's that way, like,
But I
with
love
several.
I love the fact that we are wholly supported by the Bear Nation.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it. You guys are the best.
Right. We don't need Facebook. We don't need Instagram.
You guys
Praise
are awesome. praise Yah and thank you. I mean, like the ladies are saying, we are a real small business. I really, really am the owner of these companies. They really work there. Fo really is answering your emails and packaging your Bibles and working with mags and agencies and organizations all across the country to schedule training. Real people will show up and train you.
When you get an answer at 3 a.m., we really did roll over in bed and
Yes,
open our email.
we are.
Like,
We are us.
Yeah.
And I'm just thankful that we have a community that supports us in the being of us and that sees the value in what we do. It's mind blowing.
Emails at 3 in the morning.
I do.
I have. Yeah.
People in training have been like,
Workaholics.
sometimes you wake up and you just
Your boss
check your
makes you work
email.
all the time.
My boss doesn't make me work all the time. My boss and I work. all
Y'all's
the time.
boss doesn't do nothing. I'm like, we got another meeting this week.
He's the one that's like,
Shit, what are we going to talk about this time? Did we sell things? Good.
He's always like,
Sell
I'm
more
going
things.
to lunch, and then we're like, wait, no, we had a meeting.
We're not done yet.
Yeah. So Storms would like a stomp bag with half the stuff in it, so he can put his coffee in the
You
stomp
see
bag.
Scott Holmquist there, Fo?
I'm sorry?
So Scott, you need to email us.
Sales at Bear Independent. Sales at bearindependent.com.
Yeah, Scott.
And we will be glad to discuss pricing with you.
DJ Sharp, we love you back. The crew at training was awesome. Praise Yah. The guys in my son's unit love the bare men I got them. They found out how bad the kit they are issued really is. Blade, bless you, and absolutely. When I say the kit exceeds military specification, that's not a buzzword.
Right.
It does.
Really and truly.
Like a lot. It goes over a lot.
Yeah.
Brother Richard is awesome. Amen. Yes,
They
he
have some cool
is.
people at training this weekend. You never know who's going to show
I
up.
am so like
He's really bummed he did not come. Like he started because I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him who was coming.
The people.
Oh.
You're right. And so after the fact, he found out who all was there, and he's very sad. That
You know
he was
why
not
she
there.
didn't tell me? Because I would have gone.
I was already woken up at 7 a.m. by you saying, "Hey," babe, I think I'm gonna go to Dallas this morning. And I'm like, "The F you are."
Taylor, bless you, bro.
And then I blasted, "Yo, bitch, get out the way." From my phone at 7 a.m.
I love your like war of songs.
I know, I
At
forgot what
7
you had
a.m.
played me.
Sunday.
And then-
Blade, bless you.
Yeah, you're lucky he doesn't have drums at home.
Right.
What's the best
I'm
place
surprised
to
you
try
haven't
on
bought
armor?
license plate
Not the battlefield.
The drums.
Amend training of Texas TCCC. What Bible version do you use? We enjoy the Hebrew references. So we use the scriptures. You can get it at our store at our cost at bearindependent.com. You can get it at ISR India Sierra Romeo Messianic.org, or you can get it on Amazon. Just Google the Scriptures Bible or DuckDuckGo or whatever, and you'll find it.
Yeah.
Richard
there's
is
several.
awesome, all caps. Amen. I'm glad you guys dig Richard. His wife is badass too, Sister Nicole. Brother Alex is our director of training. He's awesome, and we're happy to be announcing not only is our head instructor, Eric, coming back full force in 2021, which is awesome. He had a bout of COVID. He's better now, though. So he's coming back full force in 2021. We are also adding another instructor. You know him as the shield bearer of faith. And gosh, I'm excited about it. I really am. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, yeah, Twitch is the bomb. He knows the stuff. That's one of the things is like, find somebody. I don't know another person right now in real life that packs more wounds, applies more chest seals, and uses up more tourniquets.
Man orders a lot of tourniquets.
Yes, he does. So, yeah.
And Dudley's like, what?
Oh, Oh, and then Dudley's also going to be teaching cops jujitsu. Favorite meal? Charred ribeye, medium rare, sea salt, baked potato, butter, sharp cheddar cheese, beef bacon on top of it, asparagus that's been cooked in beef bacon fat with a little bit of garlic, and it's just starting to become tender, and probably a Young's chocolate stout to go with it, followed by a glass of peanut butter whiskey on the rocks. How's that?
Mine would be a fillet with a gorgonzola cream sauce and a side of asparagus and loaded mashed potatoes
Oh, Ellen,
Oh
bless
yeah, I
you.
like it. I'm in with that.
and a New York style cheesecake.
You lost one cheesecake.
Dude,
Somebody just said
I'm going with Tony.
lasagna.
Go with Tony.
Tony M. lasagna. Y'all gonna have to write this down for me.
Hashtag
Bless you.
lasagna. Don't get your hopes up.
I don't have hopes anymore.
What's the difference between the KJV and the scriptures?
I don't want to dive into that right
Yeah.
now.
A lot.
There's
A lot
There's
that
a
you
lot
should
left out. I mean, KJV's not
do
horrid. But
Dual readings of both books.
the biggest thing is it gives the proper names.
Right. Proper names are the big things. But when you get into the word, there's a lot of translations
Be surprised what's missing.
of, right, that in order to get the true context of it, you need the right word. And so there's several instances that like the word righteousness has been replaced with good. Well, good does not have the same meaning as the word righteousness when it comes to the Bible. So having those two that you can study between the two, if you have been a KJV reader for a long time, it's really helpful to have the two side by side and kind of read verse by verse and see what the difference is for your own eyes.
The scriptures is also surprisingly readable,
It is compared to
especially if you have a King James, not a New King James, where it's filled with the these and the thous and verily I say unto thee. That can be a challenge for a lot of people to read. And the scriptures was also retranslated from the original source texts to get as close to the original meanings of the manuscripts as possible. So to get as close to the Father's intent for his word as possible, because the King James version has known errors in it that come from the political motivation that was the reason for the King James version in the first place. Now, it doesn't mean if you have a King James, it's not a salvation issue. But it's definitely more readable for me, the scriptures is, and the scriptures is my EDC Bible. I have 13 different translations of the Bible, but the one that I grab every day is the scriptures. I will oftentimes lay out other translations on my dining room table if there's something I need clarification on, or I'm curious what the rendering of a certain passage is in a different translation. But I like the scriptures for all the reasons stated. And even the Hebrew that's in there has been transliterated into English. So you just sound the word out, and that's how it's supposed to be pronounced, which is very cool because they kind of dumbed it down for us heathens that don't know Hebrew. You just read the word and then sound it out, and that's how you say it. So that's pretty cool.
We're done.
Yeah, I think we're done.
We're done?
Computers are dying, phones are dying, everything's dying.
Paramedic combat bag with ringers and extras. Get a stomp bag, and the ringers you're going to have to borrow from somebody off the back of the bus.
We're a vet.
But because you actually, Baxter IV Supply, you can get fluids from. But everywhere else, you're going to require, even for simple things like saline solution, you're going to require a prescription to get your hands on. So any recommended study guides for scripture? For me personally, no. Read the Torah portions
I was gonna say Torah
each
portions
week.
is a good place
Read
to
your
start.
Torah portions, and then Genesis 1, in the beginning Elohim, and Matthew 1, this is the genealogy of Yeshua Messiah. And then read forward from there. How are the IFAC shipping now? 1 week to 2 weeks. They're
We're
shipping within.
January 19th as of today. And by the end of the week, I should be into the 20s.
If you ordered last month, it's on it. It's going to be on its way in the next couple weeks.
No,
Ordered it.
January.
You ordered it
Oh, yeah,
January.
last month's February. Yes.
It's going to be on its way this week or next week.
Yes. And we're getting quicker every day.
Yeah.
Quicker every day.
A real quality paramedic bag. So we don't make paramedic bags. There's lots of other people that do, because it's what you need as a paramedic can be pretty specific. Where our niche is bringing military grade or better components to the civilian market, and then we also obviously serve the military market and the public safety market as well. So, decompression needle, where do you train? Front between 2 and 3 or from the side? My son Army said they're training from the side. So between the fourth and sixth intercostal space on the side, you could certainly do that, and it's between the second and fourth intercostal space on the front. Skinny Medic actually has a very good video on it. So if you just look up Skinny Medic decompression on YouTube, there you go. But
Considerate if you don't put it in the right place.
yeah, but here's the deal. I in no way accept responsibility for you stabbing a hole in your buddy's heart when you try to do a needle decompression on him.
That's why we don't sell them individually in the store.
Yeah, that's what my wife just said. That's why we don't sell them individually in the store. So
That is something you will
Jimmy
legitimately
Carr,
kill
bless
somebody.
you. So, and I think that's why there's a transition to going on the side between the fourth and sixth, because there's a lower likelihood that you put a 3 1/4 inch needle through somebody's heart there. So,
You just miss on the side more than
Paul Ellen, bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll come get 'em.
CL, thank you. Bless you.
I'll make it walk.
Yeah, make them walk. That's fine. Aspen won't
You're
care.
gonna make them walk. Aspen will just sleep there.
I
Yeah.
know, she'll just fall asleep.
They both could just sleep there if you want.
We could stack that whole loft just to be like mattresses.
Hey, what's up, Gary?
Oh, you didn't do the thing.
I'll spend a couple more minutes with you. If y'all need to pack it up, go ahead. I know it's cold. My toddler is drumming on the marker's box. That's
I
awesome.
know.
Bama, bless you, brother. Missile Mountain, looking forward to meeting y'all Thursday.
Caroline's dead.
Who's meeting us Thursday?
I was going to ask you that.
I know. I
What kind of cigar? This is a Gurkha Beast. And it is a beast. This is a long smoke. Caleb, bless you. Thank you. What's the temp where you be? I don't know. It's below freezing.
It's cold.
We don't be outside.
He does. But that's because he's a bear.
Freeze it before it hits the ground.
Y'all do what you got to do. I'm almost done.
Okay.
So we got to retrieve the kids, right?
What
Yeah.
breed of sheep?
Mouse, bless you. What breed of sheep? Katahdins. They're purpose bred for meat.
know who's supposed to meet us on Thursday?
No.
No. We're so confused. Explain yourself. Right?
Twin wall the greenhouse, perhaps. I'm gonna do passive geothermal on the greenhouse. Gene S, bless you, thank you. Why not in the living room? Well, because it wasn't this cold when we started out here on the porch. And my
No,
wife
it's
doesn't
actually
like it when I
nice.
smoke cigars in the living room.
It was nice when we started.
Are you going to be doing a med training anywhere near Massachusetts? No. We don't go to states that restrict our freedoms. We might send some of our commissioned officers who, because of LEOSA, can carry firearms anywhere in the continental United States into places like that, but it's up to them. It's not up to me. I don't make people do things they don't want to do. So
You want to maybe offer them a sneak peek into what might be coming as far as location?
I want, if you're within 3 to 4 hours of Nashville, to go to the Nashville classes. We put 4 of them up for the Bear Nation. There also is, we don't have dates yet. We'll tell you when we have dates. There's a Georgia class coming, and there's an Indianapolis class coming. So if you're in those areas, Georgia or Indianapolis.
None of those are Massachusetts.
None of those are Massachusetts. But, we did in one of the North Texas classes have a couple from New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we
So-
had somebody drive from Alaska, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to talk about a drive?
Cost of the Georgia class. Our 4-hour classes are $350 for 4 hours of instruction, and that includes the $115 North American Rescue TCCC trainer kit that you keep, so that you don't have to destroy your IFAC to take the class. Other classes, for example, are $350, but don't include the training aids at all. So you keep your training aids, and the whole idea behind that is force multiplication, so that now that you've been trained, you can go back to your household, your community, your small business, your mag, your church, and you can train others with the same trainer kit that you used to show them the things that you just learned. So yes, Dragon Shield, we're actually working on that. We're working on that, in the process of getting NSN numbers now. Scott Snyder says, I was there Sunday and I just got back to PA today. Bless you, Scott. Thank you.
Right.
Somebody else said they loved the Bearfax so much they had a long wait, but it surpassed any IFAC they've ever seen. Every stitch they checked out, and it's perfect.
Bless you. Thank you. What part of Georgia is the class in?
Marietta.
Marietta. It's the standard class is a 4-hour class. We offer an 8-hour class, occasionally to civilians, but predominantly to military, law enforcement, EMS, firefighters. And we have to do things a little bit different on the civilian side, although we will be doing plan on doing at some point a civilian 8-hour TCCC that includes both shooting and the TAC med side, tactical medicine. Leo are civilians, but they're also commissioned officers, which civilians aren't. Square is a rectangle. Rectangle is not a square. So American Patriot, bless you. Thank you very much. You definitely have the Holy Spirit in you, I can tell. Thank you.
Right.
That's right, 5 verse 1. Don't tell anyone no.
That's right. It goes to the square hole.
Oh, yes.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. The circle. Yes. It goes to the triangle. The triangle. You see where it goes. You're right.
It's all right, Mouse. I know New England is tough for us. It's difficult when you come from a state that affirms your God-given constitutionally protected right to carry weapons so much that it's a constitutional carry state. To go to a place where that if I was to drive within your borders, I would be a felon because of the magazines that I have on my belt. California. Nope. Might do a Vegas class, but we'll see. Black Squirrel, bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Edwin, bless you. We may come to the Pacific Northwest. In the meanwhile, check out Red Frog in PNW. They've got some good training as well. So, oh, Connecticut. I haven't been to Connecticut in a long time. I was getting paid a lot of money when I was in Connecticut, and I don't really want to go back. Front Sight Vegas, just saying. There you go.
Stars burning all crazy.
I know. Sean, well, we'll see you in Indy then. We don't have a date on Indianapolis or Marietta, Georgia yet. We will let you know when we do.
Nashville is firm.
Nashville is firm.
That's why it's posted.
They keep rising.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's how it works, but I'm saying.
Heat rises, bro. Yeah, you don't get the same
That's like
warmth
our
out the
heaters. Our
sun.
heaters are like right there.
Melissa, bless you.
Took you on the floor. Like,
Savvy, that's awesome. I haven't done that yet.
Heat
I
rises.
need to. Good night, y'all. All right. I'm putting this stream to bed.
Shalom.
Bless y'all, Bear Nation. We love y'all. I'll see y'all in the morning for the brief. No, I won't. I have a conflict tomorrow morning. I'll see you in middle of the day or the afternoon for the brief, question mark. So,
Maybe.
question mark. Bless y'all. Shalom.